evening, everyone. Welcome to Out of Bounds. I'm Kungfufruitcup. Hi, and we just had a great time here at Flame Fatales 2023. It was so good. If you all missed the runs, you should go back and watch them. They were so much fun. You can catch us doing interviews, prize segments, etc. And there were so many good runs. We got a couple PBs, a world record. Anyway, sorry, I was really excited about that. But today, as a big Zelda fan, I was like, there are more Zelda games we need to have on the show. So I am joined by Myth, who is getting ready to show us some of the glitches you can find in Zelda the Minish Cap. Of all games, like, until I hosted for this game, I was not expecting this game to be as broken as it is. So how's it going, Myth?
Hey,
What's up?
how's it going? Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm really excited. We got loads of crazy stuff to show here in Minish Cap. So I gave you
Yes.
a little sheet with some stuff on it, so you've had a sneak peek
Yes.
of the names and everything.
I was about to say, there's like a bunch of pages of glitch things to show off. So
I'm not
really
going to be able to
excited
show
see.
everything, but I'm going to
Right,
try
but
and
we
show
will
the
get to
best
see
stuff.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to see a ton of this in action. I know it's going to be amazing. So I kind of wanted to know going in. Oh, we know what? First of all, let's take a step back. If you all are new to the show, hi, welcome. We are a glitch breakdown showcase centered show. So it's not about world records in here. It's about like, how do the things work? These games are broken. How are they broken? How do they work? I want to learn about it. I want to see the glitches more. I want to hear somebody talk about it. That's kind of what we do here. So it's really cool. So with this game, like, it's just going to be piece by piece, bit by bit. It has a bunch of like cool tools and task things and all kinds of stuff that he can use to like help us see how things work and how it all goes. So I kind of wanted to know, Myth, before we get started. I just love asking the question of like, what got you into running Minish Cap, and like, because you're so passionate about it, like what brought you into this game and speedrunning it?
So I got into it because I played the randomizer for it. Yeah, like back
Really?
in
Okay.
in like what was it, like 2017? Like I was into Link to the Past Rando, and joined one of the early tournaments back then and stuff. And then like 2019, OOT, like brand new randomizer came out for it, so I played a bunch of that, and it was like cool seeing how like randomizers were like developing and like all of the work that goes into making the randomizer better, adding new features, figuring out logic and stuff like that. And then Minish Cap, like out of nowhere, just got a randomizer development started
Awesome.
for it, and I got in on like the first week and tested some of the early builds, helped make the logic better and stuff, and helped start doing the racing. And I was pretty good in all of the races. Everyone thought that I was one of the best racers at the time of that early period, until like actual speedrunners turned up and started winning races, and I was losing. And I was like, okay, if I want to actually win these races, I think I need to learn the speedrun.
Fair.
I learned the speedrun in January of 2020, and yeah, I've been playing it ever since.
Nice. And then a couple years later, you're, on a mainline stage, GDQ, and showing it off. And now I'm like, you need to be on the show. So here we are. Well, I'm so excited to see how all of this works, all of the glitches here. And I know you have so much to show, so I don't want to take any more time away from you. So I'm just going to let you get us into it, count us down, and take it away. I'm just here for, commentary, being on the side, answering questions from chat, or relaying questions from chat, etc. So,
Excellent.
it's all you.
Awesome. So yeah, I guess we'll just get going straight away then. So let's do this countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so the first glitch we're going to be showing today is going to be the OG, the first ever glitch, Ocarina glitch. So the inputs for this are very straightforward, but the glitch itself is a little bit complicated. It's a real can of worms kind of glitch that it's hard to explain what it is, but the best way to, like, the one thing you should take away is that it's cutscenes interrupting cutscenes. So we do something like play the ocarina as we go into a staircase. The ocarina playing is a cutscene that cancels the stairwalking animation, which is a cutscene, and it vice versa. The staircase walking cutscene cancels the playing the ocarina cutscene, and then just nothing happens. Everyone just stands there, nothing happens. But because the cutscenes don't finish their correct like they don't get to the end of the sequence of what they're supposed to be doing. They don't trigger certain things at the very end of it. So, for example, the staircase, well, we don't get the transition at the end. We don't go to a new room. And with the ocarina, we don't get the ending to say, okay, you can stop freezing time now. Because when we play the ocarina, time freezes. And the... when we do the ocarina glitch, the time is never told to play again like normal, and that's the essence of what the ocarina glitch is. So I'll show I'll show it off here so we can have a ocarina glitch like so. Let's show the inputs for this. So if we just frame advance here, so the inputs for it is we press up. We've got the input display on stream so you can see. So you can see we're pressing up for one frame, and then the frame after, if we advance, you press A. And then Link goes into the staircase. There are multiple different ways of doing the ocarina glitch. There's a bunch of different locations overall that we can do it. We can do it on staircases, doorways, in cutscenes and keys. We're going to come on to some of those other stuff later, but we're just going to do the bog standard staircase ocarina glitch. But then we got two different methods of doing it. This is only useful for speedrunners to change the how consistent it is. We do this version called Modern, where we slide against the staircase like so, and then we do the ocarina glitch. So we hold upright, as you can see on the inputs, and then we instantly switch to up and the ocarina when we're in front of the staircase, and it does it. So why is this safer than doing it the other way? If we do the classic version, which is pressing up and then pressing the ocarina, if we don't press the ocarina that frame after pressing up, we walk into the staircase and we just walk up the stairs and we go, and then we leave the room. And then we have to come back into this room and then try and do it again. That loses about 8 seconds. Whereas if you mess up this version, Modern, where you press the ocarina too late here, what happens is Link kind of steps diagonally into the staircase like this without playing the ocarina and not getting the ocarina glitch, but we don't walk up the staircase, which saves all of that time. So this is just something that we adopted as speedrunners to help improve it. But
okay, so it's more consistent, so you just don't lose as much time if you don't nail it.
Yeah, exactly.
First time. Sweet. Okay, cool. That's very cool.
So what happened? So why do we even do ocarina glitch? So there are a bunch of different effects that happen from getting the ocarina glitch. The most obvious one is the time freeze. If there's anything in the room that you're in that is trying to do stuff, it's like time is frozen, and NPCs stop moving, things stop doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. So we can exploit this quite a lot in various different things. The most obvious one is we can completely skip the graveyard and go to the second to last dungeon without having to do it, because the only thing stopping us from going there is NPCs blocking staircases. So we can do the ocarina glitch. The NPC has their time frozen and their collision is just gone, and then we can just walk through them and go up the staircase. So
there's a staircase near them, or because they'd be blocking one, right?
Yeah, exactly. The ones in the Wind Tribe, we can go to it a bit later and show it, but yeah, they are stood in front of staircases, and we just get the ocarina glitch, and then we just walk through them, and then we go up the staircase, and we get to the higher floors of the Wind Tribe and can just go up into the dungeon that's located there.
Awesome.
Ocarina glitch is a little bit dangerous. So I'm going to show when you first get the ocarina glitch, if you do a roll, you soft lock. So I'm doing all of my button inputs now. I can't even pause. It's just hard soft lock. You can't save, you can't recover it. Best you can do is reset and go back to wherever you saved last. So if you're trying ocarina glitch out, definitely save before doing it.
What? Why does it soft lock when you roll?
It's a bit complicated, but basically, Link, when he rolls, there is a part of his properties that is paying attention to what stage of the roll they're at. And this value is supposed to start at a value of like 1 or 2 or something. But because we did the Ocarina glitch, it's actually like a completely different value. And then at all of the stages of the roll, this value is supposed to decrement down and eventually be at 0 when we end the roll. But because it's starting at a different value, when it decrements X number of times, it then doesn't reach 0. At the end of the roll, we're not at 0 on that value, so it doesn't give control back to Link. So
Weird. Okay, gotcha.
this isn't the only soft lock that we can do.
Okay.
We can do a bunch of different soft locks. So we can soft lock by bonking into walls. That does exactly the same thing. So here's another soft lock.
Oh my gosh.
What are the
So you have to be
other ones?
careful, like using the. You have to be careful using the boots.
Oh
then as
yeah,
well.
absolutely. There's so many times where people like accidentally do a bonk after getting an Ocarina glitch, and they're like, "Oh no!" and then they have to reset and then do it again. But normally you save just before doing these Ocarina glitches. But yeah, so other ways of soft locking are if you push against an object like this, it doesn't push the object, and Link is now stuck.
Like, what can you do?
Basically leave the room. That's kind of the best thing you can do. We call this stage 1 Ocarina glitch, where the time's frozen and we're very vulnerable to soft locking. We want to leave the room as quickly as possible, because when we can leave the room, we then get stage 2 Ocarina glitch, which stops us from getting soft locks and stuff, and we can start doing the other things that are actually really useful. So, one of the probably the most useful thing in with getting Ocarina glitch is that it stops Link from updating what kind of tile he stood on. There's like a property inside of Link that is like keeping track. Is like, okay, we're on regular floor, so we're just going to walk normal, or we're on ice, so we should do ice physics, or we're over water, so check if we've got flippers. That check just never gets done. Apart from certain situations. One of them is whenever we go into a new room, it immediately checks, okay, what kind of floor are we stood on? So inside of doorways is a different kind of tile to regular floor. When you're inside of a doorway, you can't use certain items. Like you can't use the cape because you can't. Link would hit their head on the ceiling or whatever. So the game just is programmed to say, hey, if we're inside of a doorway, just don't allow using the cape to jump. Don't allow using the gust jar to suck. But if we use Ocarina glitch and we're on regular floor tiles, and then we go into a doorway, we can jump and we can use these other things because it's checking, okay, what kind of floor is Link on? Regular floor? Yeah, okay, he can jump. We really exploit this later as well. So as you can see here, we're going to be dashing over the water tiles because the Link has entered a new room and it's like, okay, we're going to check what floor tiles he's on. Okay, he's on. He's in a doorway tile, so we're going to just dash up through all of the water. And it's like, yeah, Link has never stood on water, so we're never going to check if he's got flippers and make him drown or anything like that.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, and that's a really important thing because here, when we go onto these kinds of tiles, these stair tiles, this game has 2 different layers to it. So like there's the upper layer and the lower layer, so that we can make so that the designers could make underpasses and stuff and bridges, so you can walk under the underpass and walk over the top of the bridge, and they have walls, and those walls aren't going to block Link from being able to walk in the other direction. So they made 2 different collision layers, and Link only pays attention to one of these at a time. Normally when he's on the ground, it's like, okay, we're only going to be looking at layer 1 stuff, so we can walk underneath all of the layer 2 collision because we're not paying attention to it. Now, there is, at staircases, it changes Link's layer. It makes Link start looking at the upper layer collision, because that makes sense, right? Okay, we're going to be on the we're going to go up the stairs. We're going to be on the upper layer. We need to start looking at the upper layer collision.
Right.
Now, normally there are these tiles tell Link, okay, update what kind of layer you're on. But because we have Ocarina Glitch, we don't update what kind of tiles we're stood on. Link doesn't update what layer he's on. He does get forced onto layer 2 because he gets stuck inside of a wall here. Like, so if we press up, if we press up here, we get popped up onto layer 2. And then when we walk down, we're not on layer 1. We don't walk down the staircase onto layer 1. We're on layer 2. So we can just walk. Link is just ignoring all of the collision on layer 1. So, you know, he's just hovering over the top of everything. And we can just go to any rooms and stuff, and we can just, you know, go wherever we want in this.
So this is all a result of Ocarina Glitch messing with things in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Ocarina Glitch's property of not updating what kind of floor tile Link is stood on. However, we can choose exactly when and where we want Link to update what kind of floor tile he's stood on. We can do that by rolling. Every time we roll, all the duration of the roll, it's constantly updating what kind of floor tile Link is stood on. So here, if we roll down the staircase, it's constantly going, okay, we're on stairs, so we should update Link's layer to put him on layer 1. And now we're on layer 1 again, and we can, like, we have walls and everything here. For example, if we're over here, we've got Ocarina Glitch, we can walk over the water. As soon as we roll, we fall into the water. I've got flippers right now, and there's a nice block here when you roll into water with the Ocarina Glitch active. Because it doesn't update what kind of tiles we're stood on, we can't stand on the shallow water to get out of the water. So we're just stuck here permanently. Link can't. The water's too deep for him.
Oh.
So
okay, so we're going back.
Yeah, so let's get Link out of that soft lock there. Okay, so yeah, that's like the basics of Ocarina Glitch. It's a completely universal glitch, and we can use it in anywhere you can think. Anywhere you can see one of those kinds of staircases, yeah, just go for it. You can use it here on this barrel. You can get Ocarina Glitch here. Basically here, and yeah, anywhere that there's like a like an entrance or some kind of like loading zone to go to a new area or anything like that. Stand in front of it, do the Ocarina Glitch, and you get it. Okay, so we're here in Deepwood's Shrine, and we've got the Ocarina, and we're not really supposed to have the Ocarina here in Deepwood at this point, but we're just going to be having loads of different items. We're going to be, showing all the stuff that requires these items that we may not necessarily have at these points.
Right.
So, Deepwood's Shrine, when we're in the speedrun, we kind of have to do an almost like intended playthrough. Like, we don't have items needed to really break this dungeon, so it's going to be cool to show off some glitches that you can do when you have items, because you don't really get to see it in a speedrun. So one of these cool glitches is called Statue Clip. So this was found far more recently. It was about 2019. It was found by Solidified Gaming, who found a bunch of the more modern glitches, stuff that we're going to get onto in a bit. So there's this is called Statue Clip. So we're over in this section of the barrel room, and we move the statue into this position. There's two different ways of doing this. We can either have the cape, and we can try and time a frame perfect cape jump, or we can use the bombs and a fairy, and we revive when we're on low health. So I'll just show it here. So this is going to be the cape version. So we push the statue.
Oh, it's so fast.
For some reason here, we can just push this statue when we're against this, we're on the very edge of the staircase. So some weird stuff is going on here, and the game just decides, okay, we can just push the statue into a wall for some reason. What? I don't know why. So Link starts pushing the statue, but then the statue gets pushed onto a wall, and then the statue goes, hold on, I'm not allowed to be here. I'm going to break, and I'm going to respawn, and I'm going to go to my last safe position, which was right next to me. But the thing is, Link is now there, so then Link gets pushed for a single frame. He gets pushed down, as I think you can see here, but we timed a cape jump at exactly the right time. So normally Link gets pushed into a solid block that's here, and then it's like, I'm inside of a block. I just got pushed off of a block that. So now that's not safe. I need to go back. I need to memory and go back to wherever my most recent safe tile was, which should pop him back just above the staircase. But because we timed the cape jump perfectly before all of those checks could get done, it kind of pushes us out of that block there, and we just land here, which is a spot on layer 2 that has no collision. This works nicely because of the kind of collision that we have here. A new tool that I'm going to be showing off today is going to be the collision viewer. Haley's been doing a lot of great work on this. You saw her doing commentary for the GDQ run, but
yes, that's right.
She has made this hitbox and collision viewer. So let me deploy that, and then we can see what the collision looks like. Okay, so I've got layer 1 and layer 2 collision on at the moment, but let's only show layer 2 to make things a little bit more obvious what's happening here. So you can see here, if my mouse cursor is getting picked up correctly, is it? Okay, there. You have the this collision here, and then this collision here. We have a corner here. It's like a pinch corner that as soon as we start playing, we can see Link gets put into this spot here, and then we clip through this kind of corner. We have a bunch of different. This is the standard clip that we get in this game, where we have this kind of special pinch corner, and we have so many different kinds of things that we can use to do these kinds of clips, but they all happen at this kind of level geometry. We're always looking for places like this where it's a pinch corner with 2 blocks on one diagonal, but 3 standing blocks on the other diagonal, so that we can just get pushed through.
Yeah. Well, I think I get that. I think I get all that together.
So so this was the one version of it, is using the cape. We can use a different version though. We can use the bombs. Right. So we're on low health at the moment. We're on half a heart. Bombs do half a heart, so it's going to kill us when we push this. But we're using remote bombs as well, so we can place the bomb, and then when we press the button again, it will explode, and so we can control exactly when it does it. So yeah, we're going to start pushing. Use the bomb to kill ourselves, and then we get pushed through. This one's a little bit different, where with the respawn, it kind of detaches Link, so that Link is now no longer stuck in the pushing animation for the statue. So we can go and put ourselves at just the right spot. So we want to be as far left as possible, whereas we wouldn't quite be at that distance if we were pushing it. And then, when it respawns, it just pushes Link down, and then Link detects that he's on this kind of wall that is when when the game detects links on a wall, it tries to roll him down like this kind of wall. This is a very special kind of wall. And yeah, Link kind of like rolls down the wall, and then we can count to layer 2 from this position. So yeah, we're just gonna dash over to this room. Because statues are really weird. These statues are on layer 1. Let's swap the collision over and have a look at the layer 1 collision for this area. So, I mean, it's a bit obvious. I don't think we even need to show the collision layer for the collision stuff for this area. But this room, we're on layer 2 at the moment, so we're walking over the top of everything. And these statues are on layer 1, but we can grab them. For some reason.
You still grab them?
Yeah, the game doesn't check what layer Link is on when he is next to something that is grabbable.
Do they just like strategically place things on a like far away enough when you're on second layer, like so you can't drag him or anything? Okay, because I was wondering like why you wouldn't be able to find something like that.
I guess it was
casually.
Just an oversight by the developers because they were just like, okay, this isn't an interaction we're aware of, because as far as they knew, there is no way to get out of bounds on layer 2 to be somewhere like this where you're just like freely walking around where there's no collision on layer 2 and not not in layer 1 like with everything else. So they just probably never thought about it. So what's happening when we like grab it is that it tries to when we grab these statues, it kind of like normalizes Link to the center of the tile that's like adjacent to the statue. It like centers Link. But when it does that, it detects, hang on, there's a wall here on layer 1, so Link shouldn't be here, and it puts Link wherever his last safe tile was, and we entered it here, so it's like, okay, that where they entered the room was safe, so it warps Link to this spot. But we can still like pull the statue because we're still holding on to him. We never let it go. So
so weird.
Yeah. So yeah, these statues we can pull them into walls, and yeah, they just break and respawn. And we can grab them, and like if we're grabbing from like really far away, it doesn't quite know what tile to respawn Link, so like we can avoid getting that weird respawn thing going. But we can grab and push statues around. One of the really cool things as well is when we grab a statue, we get put onto the same layer as the statue. So we're on layer 1 right now. So it takes you back
down, yeah.
So we've been lowered back down. So like that's really cool. It's like, oh, okay, so we can get back down wherever we want as if we can find these statues. The other way of getting down is you see these doorways here. These are ledge tiles, so we can go next to them and just like push towards them. We just jump down them like a regular ledge, and the game just detects, okay, there's like air layer 2 tiles, so let's not put Link on the air. Let's look down at layer 1 and go, oh, there's regular floor there. We'll jump Link down onto the regular floor. And then, now we're down here on layer 1. That's how the game handles like doing jumps and stuff like that.
Okay. So like basically you can correct yourself once you're like out of bounds. You can like reset kind of in a room. There are different ways to like get
being out of bounds is great because you get to go places you're not supposed to be, but then you want to be in the places that you're supposed to be because there's items there. So it's like,
exactly.
Yeah, I'm playing the game. So let's get back into bounds, and you need methods for doing that. So grabbing statues is a really good way when there aren't staircases because doorways. This doorway is great because it's separate from the top of from the edge of this room. However, this staircase, this door frame here, we can't use it because it's at the top of the room, so we can't get above it to jump down from it. So unfortunately, we do have a lot of rooms that it's like, great, it would be so useful if we can get to this room out of bounds, and then we can hop down off a staircase or whatever, and or the door frame, and get down onto layer 1 and do the stuff that we're supposed to be doing on layer 1.
Right.
One of that is down here in the basement. So during the GDQ run, I showed off a trick called Lily Clip, where we get ourselves up onto layer 2. We'll get onto that in a second, but I just wanted to show getting Ocarina Glitch here, and then it's like, okay, great. Like if you've got Ocarina Glitch, surely you can just ignore the lily pad and just go around through from this room to the room where there's a big key. That would be really useful.
No, but when you go past the door threshold, yeah, it's going to put you back in the water.
Exactly. When you do a screen transition, it updates what kind of floor tiles you stood on. It detects, oh, it's water, and it drops Link. Link still has Ocarina Glitch right now. Like, that's not gone away, but it has updated that Link is on water. And yeah. So we can't go out that way. So we need to, we always need to pay attention to when we do a screen transition, what is the first tile that we're going to land on in this new room, and is it going to cause some kind of soft lock? Yeah, let's show the Lily clip then. So, right, Lily clip is a really complicated glitch. I haven't really been able to fully understand it, but reading through decomp, I kind of got a better idea how it works. So normally a screen transition is supposed to be triggered when Link touches the edge of the screen. But when we're riding a lily pad, we're not touching the edge of the screen. So the game needs to know when to move Link and the lily pad to the next room. So the lily pad detects that it's touching the edge of the screen and initiates a, okay, we need to start doing a screen transition to a new room now.
Oh, okay.
It's actually the lily pad that's doing that. Can we, do I have hitboxes? Here we go. So we have the hitbox for the lily pad shown here. And we are also going to be able to see the hitboxes for like stuff with like Gust Jar. But what is happening here is we are, it's not showing the detection, but basically you can see when we release the Gust Jar to blast in this position, the lily pad moves from its like initial position. It moves down by like 1 frame, by 1 pixel, and that's enough to make it start touching the edge of the screen and then trigger that, hey, we've got a screen transition, so start detecting the screen, start calculating and stuff to start loading into the next room. The reason why this is a glitch is because we've positioned Link in this spot here where he's got a wall below him, so he can't move down. Normally when we push with the, and blast or move any at all with the lily pad, Link is locked to the lily pad. Any motion the lily pad moves in, it tells Link, it just tells Link to do that same motion as well, which adds the values. But it can't do that here with Link. It tries to do it, and then Link goes, no, I'm not moving, there's a wall there.
Okay. Right.
Link is on the very edge of being on the detection zone for being on a lily pad. Any frame later, it would detect, hold on, we're not on the lily pad anymore. Let's make Link drown because he's over water. Or if we've got flippers, make him start swimming. Because that happens the frame afterwards, as soon as it starts loading the new room, a check gets done. As when we're loading a new room, it goes, okay, what kind of transition are we doing? Oh, are we doing a lily pad transition with Link? Okay, let's check. Is Link on the lily pad right now? That check gets failed. And because that fails, it just skips over the bits of code that is saying, okay, start moving the lily pad and Link to the new room. It just skips it. So Link and the lily pad just don't move. But it does the rest of the transition stuff. It does the whole move the camera and load all of the stuff in the new room. But it just doesn't execute that move lily pad and Link.
So that hitbox that's still at the bottom of the screen, is that Link or is that the bug?
Oh, sorry, that's the P hat, yeah.
Okay, that's the P hat.
Yeah. So now...
Okay, just making sure we didn't somehow, like, warp. Okay.
Now, Link is off screen.
Right.
Let's snap the camera to Link so we can see what's going on.
Oh.
So I pull up the entity view and we go full snap to Link. Uh-oh. Ooh.
Oh.
Here we go. There we go. Okay, so we can see like where the room is and where the lily pad and Link are. And we're just in the black void in between rooms where there's just like nothing. There's no collision here. It's all just regular. It's just value 0 floor, which the game just interprets as regular floor. So it's like, okay, Link can just stand here and walk around. So yeah, we'll get Link to... Okay, the camera's going to be a little bit buggy. The camera really doesn't like being off screen. Uh-oh. That crashed. Never mind.
Uh-oh, yeah, it sure did. It
Let me
even
load it
crashed
back up
for
and we'll
my
get to the
view.
spot. The game really doesn't like when the camera isn't where it's supposed to be, so this is going to be a little bit buggy.
Okay.
Let me jump back to that.
Yeah, let me know when you pull it back up.
Okay.
That's so funny.
This may not be the first time that the emulator will just straight up crash.
Oh. What to show. It's okay. Oh, perfect. Okay.
Okay, cool. We should be here now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Right, we're back.
Yes, we're all good.
So, yeah, we just did some out-of-bounds movement and then triggered a screen transition to land here. And we're on layer 2 and we're above all of the walls and everything, so we can... let me just pull up the task tools. There we go. Cool. And yeah, from here, we're just going to, we can go over to this room over on the left here. And it's like, oh, great. The boss key's right here. We can grab it, right? There's like collision detection, so we can, you know, should be able to interact with this. We can't interact with it.
No.
Okay, but there's these mushrooms here. Oh, we can grab them because they're on, because they're a grabbable thing, just like the statues. But unlike the statues, they don't lower our layer.
It keeps you right there.
Sucks.
Oh, weird.
We can grab these pots. We can grab the pots and bring them up onto layer 2, and then we can throw them. But we're still on layer 2. We're not on layer 1. And there's the big culprit as well. The doorway is on the edge of the screen, so we can't use it to jump down. So it means that we have to come down to this room and jump down off of this staircase and then use a key to open this door. And this combination of things just makes this glitch slower than just moving the lily pad back. It's about 5 seconds slower. If any of the other things were different, we would be able to do this glitch to skip going and like do some kind of skip here and be able to go to the boss key, but unfortunately we can't. But it's cool nonetheless. And also, Lily Clip isn't just exclusive to this dungeon. We're going to see it in a later dungeon as well. Okay. That's all of the stuff in Deepwood. Let's try and move on now and check out the next set of stuff. You happy with all of that so far?
Yes, yeah. I'm following along so far. So I'm curious to see like how quickly you're able to start using some of these. Like what's the in the run, what was the first one you used, basically?
It was Lily Clip, which wasn't like it's not an optimal glitch. It's not something that we do for the like if you're going for PB attempts. I will oh, hold on. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the spot that we are going to do, like one of the first glitches was back in the day, back in SDA when single segment, you're not allowed to do any save and quits. Oh no.
Okay.
So when we go
sure.
to town for the first time, we're going to go and talk to we're going to talk to hurdy-gurdy guy here. So if we just like fast forward this, oh, hold on, let me get rid of the overlays and stuff so that it's there we go. Okay, so we would do a fusion with this guy. He's like the tutorial for teaching how the fusion mechanic works. So we just fuse with him, and then like we trigger the this cutscene. This cutscene is kind of slow, so we would like to skip it. So that's why we do a save and quit here, because we get to skip having to talk to him and demonstrate that we know how to do the fusion. Saves quite a few seconds. But
gotcha. That's nice.
At the end of this cutscene, at the end of that cutscene, we they talk to us, and like we just close this text box, and then a cutscene starts where they start walking away. And when a cutscene is playing, Link gets kind of like locked in place and isn't allowed to, the player isn't allowed to control Link and move them around. But we get control for a couple of frames before this cutscene starts. And in that time, if we walk up to one of the other guys and we talk to them and open up a text box, when it starts playing the cutscene to make the NPC start walking away, this text box is interrupting the commands to lock Link in place.
Oh.
And then we can close the text box and still have control of Link. So now we're just able to walk around whilst they're like walking away. And if we can, we got like they have like they walk off screen and then despawn. But yeah, like they also have collisions. So we just stand in front of this guy and get pushed along by him.
He pushes you back until he disappears.
Yeah. So that's called cutscene walking. And we do make use of that later on in the run. We do it just before the last dungeon. There's some we need to save some stone guards by using the force sword to unpetrify them. And normally when they're unpetrifying, it's a cutscene's playing. But luckily, someone put an ESLO trigger box in that area, so we can trigger the unpetrifying cutscene, walk into the ESLO trigger, so ESLO starts talking to us and opens up a text box, and then we just do this exact same glitch, and we can walk around whilst that is going, and we can chain them together as well, which is the best thing, because at the end of those cutscenes, they open text boxes, and we just keep exploiting that.
That's nice.
But for the
one after the other.
For the first actual glitch we do in the run, it's here. This is guard skip. So this was also discovered by Solidified. They found that for some reason, when Link drowns in water, it respawns Link at whatever they detect as their last save tile. This is special to Minish Cap. If you see other games like A Link to the Past or the Oracle games, when Link drowns or voids or whatever, it respawns them back at the beginning of the room. But Minish Cap has a special area in memory where it keeps track of what were the tiles that Link was stood on that we have deemed safe. And then it respawns Link at the first one in the list that's still safe. For some reason, these
you were saying earlier.
Yeah, these road tiles just don't they don't count. Don't know why.
That's weird. Okay.
So we touch this tile here. So the game is now going, okay, this is the most recent save tile that Link is on, and we save that. And then all of these tiles that we're walking on here, it's like, nope, these aren't valid tiles. We're not going to save these. And then we drown here. And then it respawn. Okay, it's like, right, Link's drowned. We need to respawn Link. Where's his last save file? Oh, it was by the save tile. It was by the sign. So it respawns Link there. Link is currently now there, but it started a cutscene. It's like, okay, we need to make the camera pan over to Link. And whilst this cutscene's playing, we're not allowing Link to move. but we can override this by pausing and unpausing the game, and then it snaps the camera to Link. No matter where the camera is on screen, if we pause and unpause, it will just instantly deploy the camera at Link, which is great.
So as soon as you drown, you can pause the game.
Yes.
Unpause it, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
We can go left.
Yeah. So during that that whole thing, the guard is always trying to keep in line with us and going, no, you're definitely not going past it. Like the MM guards in Clocktown, like making sure that we can't get past. But these guards are really fast, so we can't ever like run past them, which I'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, they saw where we drowned, and they were like staying vertically in line with us and being like, no, you can't get past. And then when we respawn, we're way higher up, so then we can just walk past, and they don't have time to run in the way and block us. So yeah.
Awesome.
That is one of the methods of guard skip. There was another one discovered, which I'll get to in a little bit, but just as a bit of a break, we're gonna have a look at bombs.
Nice.
So,
I also feel like based on the description, it seems like something that if somebody was like, if it's one of the first ones in the run, it doesn't seem like it's, out of reach for like a novice runner.
Oh, absolutely not. Once you understand how it works, like to actually execute it, it's as simple as walking to one spot and walking to another spot on a path. It's it.
That's awesome.
That's as
I love it.
casual as you can get.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, anyone who's starting the, like wanting to learn the speedrun or whatever, yeah, it's all of the early glitches that you do in the, like the first glitches that you come across in the speedrun, they're all very beginner friendly. So they are a good introduction for like what you should expect. And if you can get a grasp of those, it slowly builds up to becoming harder and harder and more complicated. But yeah, bombs. So bombs are weird. Their fuse timer is just not consistent at all. So I'll do one demonstration here. So we place 2 bombs down. We place them 1 frame apart. So they should basically blow up at almost exactly the same time. But we see that that doesn't happen. The bomb we threw exploded way faster. It wasn't like 2 frames faster. It was like 30 frames, or half a second faster. And that's because when we pick up a bomb soon after it's been placed, we kind of like interrupt how the fuse timer works, and it kind of skips over the step. The fuse timer isn't just like a value that's at like 270 frames or whatever and just counts down 1 per frame. There's like stages to it. There's different. There's like 3 different elements of like the timer that when one bit gets to 0, then it jumps to the next one and then times that down to 0, and then it goes to the next one and then times that down to 0. I think it's to do with animation stuff, because if we have a look at the bomb, when they're going to explode, you can see that they start flashing and like changing size. So there's different phases of the timer. So yeah, we can just interrupt the first bit of the timer by just picking up and throwing a bomb straight away, which is useful for a speedrun where we're trying to go fast. So yeah, pick up and throw a bomb and it will explode a little bit faster. But
that's cool.
That's not the only way to make a bomb explode a little bit faster. So
how many frames or seconds would you say it saves overall during a run?
Well, I don't know how many bombs we use in total. I think I counted in total, and that's just that one I showed is a slightly weaker form that doesn't save as much time. This one I'm about to show saves more time. It saves a whole second.
Board has not been kind to Myth today.
Do it. And the I think there are about 6 eligible locations to do it without, that will actually save time. Because also another thing is that when you need to use a bomb somewhere, you're probably not close to the thing that you need to use the bomb at. So whilst you're walking there, you can like deploy the bomb way further away, pick it up, walk it to it, and then it explodes just as you reach there, because we want to be optimal here. So doing this kind of strat doesn't save any time in those situations. So yeah, that version I showed, we don't consider that a glitch where you pick up and throw a bomb, because that's just intended gameplay, you know, picking up and throwing a bomb. I think everyone's going to do that in their playthrough of Minish Cap. So it's not something that we ban in like in glitchless runs. However, this is something that we do because we consider this as an actual glitch. So this is called a roll lift. So what we do is, as we're walking down, we place a bomb, and then 2 frames later, we do a roll. And what that does is it kind of like bobs the bomb up in the air, like that. If you can see the bombs kind of like bouncing in place. This version is a lot faster. You can see that it exploded before the other one even started flashing, so it was like a full second faster. And yeah, we call that a roll lift, and that's a big time save, like a second or so. But also, it is frame perfect, so it's a combo of like, oh, it wasn't too bad that I didn't get it because it was a frame perfect trick and it saves 1 second. Oh, hi. I'm sorry. Did Discord... It did it just before we started.
It's okay. Look, you were mid-explanation. I was like, good. I'm glad your stream's good. Hi, everyone.
Sorry, my Discord it's been awful today.
That is okay.
Hi. I was like, where is Fu?
This has been really quiet. I was like, I'll
she's
just
so
mute.
engrossed.
I didn't know, you know, I couldn't keep up with like where you were when you were chatting. To like try to break in and say something because you wouldn't have been able to hear.
Sorry. But yeah, that's it. That's it for Rollis, really.
Okay, give me like a quick give me like a really quick summary of what you were just talking about.
Did you okay, so yeah, so the roll lift, you like place a bomb and then you roll a couple frames later. It makes it bob up in the air, and it makes the fuse timer a whole second faster.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it's really nice when you get it in runs, because it's like, oh, cool, that was a frame perfect trick. It only saves a second, but yeah, it was frame perfect. But also, if you don't get it, it's like, well, okay, I lost a second. It doesn't really matter, especially in an hour and 40 minute. Like a lot of people are trying to hit 1 hour 40 at the moment. It's like 1 second doesn't matter.
For sure. But it's like cool.
Swag.
It's like swag.
It's the it's the bragging rights. It's like, yeah, I nailed all of the roll lifts that run.
Exactly. Okay, perfect. Hi, I'm here.
Cool. So,
all right.
Something I wanted to show is something that people probably weren't ever aware of. I showed this to some people that are in the Minish Cap community, and they're like, I've never known that this is a thing. So there's this kid over here called that is from the Wind Waker games. He's a snotty-nosed kid from Outreach, but like he's here in this game. We can talk to him, and when we talk to him, he starts following us. And I mean, this is really cool. It's like, I didn't know about this before, like, some point earlier this year, I think it was, I'm sure it was this year that I found an old video about this. Yeah, they just like kind of follow us around anywhere. We walk through us. They walk through us and everything. So if we do this whole exploit with the respawning thing, like they still kind of like follow us, and we can make them like go over the water and stuff like that. So we are let's make Link respawn really far away, completely off screen. So we're going to respawn Link and snap him over here. And now the kid isn't following us anymore, which is weird. And it's like, okay. But he has collision. So like we can't walk into him now. And
now he's stuck.
So like this is kind of cool and useful. It's like, hold on, we can just deploy collision wherever we want in town by just talking to this kid and putting him somewhere.
Oh,
we don't know.
That's
don't know how to use this yet. I can't think of anything.
Okay, so this is not usable yet, but it's something that you could potentially
It seems like
work
a very useful tool if we need to do anything that is like, oh, we can do a clip here that can get us to a spot.
Right.
Oh, if we can deploy the kid there, then that's the collision that we need to be able to push us through and clip.
That's cool.
So we can talk to him again, and now he is following us again, and so we can also redeploy him wherever we need. So yeah, but also I don't quite get how it works, because here is a slight, like, we did the same kind of thing, but now he's just intangible. He's just like, he doesn't have any solid collision. We can walk through him. We can't talk to him, and he's just gone. It's there, but like we can't do anything with him. So
he's like a ghost.
He's
now.
a ghost. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So
wow.
That's just a weird thing. That's just fun. It's not useful for the speedrun or anything, but this is why we're here doing, it's not just speedrun stuff, we're just showing cool, weird interactions that you might not have seen in the game. Back to the guard skip. This is another version of guard skip that was discovered a little bit later, because no one really thought to do it, and because you can use the boots to dash past the guard, but whenever you get the boots, the guard is no longer there anyway, so it's not something that we've ever even thought to try or knew to try. But yeah, if we stand here and we dash up, we're just a little bit faster than the guard, so it's quite hard timing, but you can do this RTA, and you can just skip past them. This is more useful for stuff like randomizers. If you get boots early, you can... normally you need to show this guy the spin attack to be able to get past him. But if you don't have sword and spin yet, but you have boots, you can do this boot dash to get past. It's a bit tricky, but it allows sequence breaks, which is always good.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah, that was like all of the stuff in town. Let's move on to Mount Crenel now.
Okie dokie.
So there's this bean here that when we're on the mountain, we go and grab the this bean, and then hold on, I accidentally don't have any recordings for this section, so it's just going to have to fast forward for a little bit. But yeah, like we're going to be able to see what how I got to here and stuff. But yeah, we shrink here, we get the bean, we need to move it onto a spot so that we can use hot spring water. But there's some cool interaction that we can do with the bean in this area. So when we are here, earlier on in this room, if I can just rewind back to this this spot here, this stick has no collision here because we're supposed to be able to roll underneath the stick. But when we go a little bit later with the bean, we grab the bean and we come back, then there is collision there because it's like, sorry, I need to make it update every frame. There we go. Okay, so the collision is now accurate. It adds a like solid collision there when we're holding onto the bean, because obviously we're not supposed to be walking under these things if we got a big bean over our head. But we can still throw the bean through it, which is a bit weird. And also, if anyone didn't know, you can throw the bean at the pestos to kill them because it's huge and it's like bulky. But yeah, we can like throw the bean through, and then like when we let go of the bean, if the layer if the collision updates properly, there we go. Like every time we're not holding onto the bean, we should be able to walk into here, so we can come and stand like in the middle of this collision and stuff. And when we try and grab the bean to pick it up, it just like pops us out because it adds the collision there, and it's like, no, there's solid wall collision here, Link, get out. So there was just a bit of a weird interaction there where it's like the game adds collision there because we're holding on to something, which is just like a cool way of like understanding. I was like, oh, that's how the game does it. So another thing here on Krenel, I have layer 1 and layer 2 collisions shown here on Mount Krenel, and all of this pink walls are layer 1, and it's because everything in basically the overworld is all layer 1. There's no need for higher and lower elevations or whatever. So if you, it's kind of a bit counterintuitive. You think, oh, Krenel is like a big mountain, like you're climbing up it. It's like, no, it's completely flat. There is no elevation.
Wait, but you said all the pink is layer 1?
Yes.
And okay, so what's the non-pink?
Oh, that's just like floor. It's just regular floor. There isn't we don't have a view for what layer is this tile on, but I'm sorry, we do. I can just delete the stop it from drawing. There we go. Okay. So I just disabled layer 2. So now anything that's on layer 2 is currently not seen. Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
Trust me.
Oh,
But
so when you say the pink is layer 1, it's just layer 1 but has collision?
Yeah. The pink outline means this is solid collision.
Okay.
But we're just solidly on layer 1 right now. So this is basically why this grabbing this mushroom here isn't a glitch, because we're supposed to be able to grab mushrooms from long distance. And we, in fact, grab mushrooms from the other side of collision all the time. But here, you're kind of thinking, oh, that's up on layer 2, right? So we're doing a glitch because we're grabbing it from the wrong layer and getting forced up onto the wrong layer. No, it's all layer 1. It's all the same elevation. So this is as much a glitch as if you were using the gust jar to grab water on the other side of like at the top of Mount Krenel, we do kind of the same thing, and you're kind of intended to do that to progress to the next dungeon. So you do see a lot of comments sometimes. It's like, oh, this is a glitchless speedrun, but you do a glitch here, and it's just like deceptive.
Right, exactly.
But there is a So we're gonna come into one of the caves here on Krenel, and I want to show off a cool glitch called Bottle Adventure. This was discovered in 2008, and someone was
Bottle Adventures used in what other Zelda games? It's like one of either Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask.
Yeah,
right?
it's I think it's both, but it was originally first discovered in Ocarina of Time, and everyone is in that era was very much excited by Bottle Adventure because it means that you can do item manipulation and stuff. So the person who discovered this is called Pika. They discovered a bunch of stuff from this 2007-2008 period. That's they discovered Ocarina glitch, and there's basically half the stuff that is being shown here is discovered by them back in 2007-2008. They found this thing by trying to do Ocarina glitch with a bottle, and they called it Bottle Adventure because it was a reference to the Ocarina of Time glitch. So let's show it off here. So we're going to use the Mountain Dew, and let's get rid of the collision so that it's a bit easier to see, because we don't need to have any of these views up right now. So when we get the glitch, Link animation kind of like bugs out, and every time we push against something, it deploys whatever we have in the bottom.
Oh, it looks so weird. Oh, that's so weird looking.
Yeah, so we got some hot spring water that we're using here. Did I... sorry, what did I do here? Did I do a roll? Yeah, I rolled. So as soon as you roll, you lose a glitch. So
Okay.
Yeah, we'll show
like rolling resets a lot of things.
Yeah, it runs scripts to check things are supposed to be behaving, and it unfortunately fixes a lot of the stuff. But you know, it does have its uses. So here's the milk. So we push against the thing, and there isn't really an animation for pushing with the or doing anything with the milk. So there's no weird buggy animation, but we healed. That's a really important thing. Is every time we push, we have whatever the use this item just gets spammed every frame. So if we're on really low health and we have a healing potion or whatever, we'll just heal up to full health because it will just use it over and over again rapidly, frame perfectly, and then just overheal us and put us to full health. But yeah, if you do stuff like pick up a pot and throw it, that's also going to kill the glitch. There's a lot of ways. This glitch is very volatile, and it doesn't survive for very long when you're doing stuff. But this is Din's charm. This is double damage. But it's got a timer. It's I think it's 1 minute 30 or something like that. We were always thinking, it's like, oh, can you do this glitch and push on a thing so many times? It keeps adding time onto the timer, and then we can have it for 6 hours.
Does it?
But no, unfortunately not. It just resets it, which is a shame.
You just go from like a minute, and then you lose a second, and then you go back to a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So here's the very top of Mount Crenel. So there's some mushrooms here, and here's just a cool out of bounds that was discovered here. So yeah, we just perfectly time holding a bomb.
Wait.
It just explodes, and it happens to just push us up high enough so that we avoid the falling zone. So like if we jump here, where we land there, it's trying to trigger Link to roll down, like because he's in the air. It's like, oh no, it's going to roll him down to the bottom of the screen, and then he's going to void out, and then it's going to respawn Link back onto the safe ground. But because of the timing of the bomb, it explodes us and damage boosts us up to this spot here, and this tile is just a regular floor tile because the devs just didn't bother, putting a lot of the the right tiles where they need to be. They only did what they needed to do. So like all of this stuff is like, oh, we'll just leave it, we'll just ignore it and not do anything. So it's just regular regular floor. And yeah, so we can just walk around up here. Which is cool. It's a small area, we're kind of like locked in and everything. But we can pull out the Gust Jar and grab this mushroom, and we get brought back into bounds. Oh. So
and there you go.
We can skip the, flinging ourselves across with the mushroom by doing this, but this is a bit slower.
It's actually slower to do it this way?
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Okay, it's just a cool thing.
It's just another cool thing that we show, but
okay.
It's, yeah. It would be nice to have some like out of bounds and stuff like that here.
Right.
We do have some out of bounds that we can trigger to go to other rooms, but they're not exactly useful. It would be so great to skip this whole section. It's like 3 minutes of just block pushing puzzles and stuff, and it would be really nice to be able to just skip directly to the dungeon.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, we're very close. If the level geometry was ever so slightly different in some other sections of this place, we would be able to do clips and to be able to jump out of bounds and stuff. But it's literally just like one tile off in some corners.
Aww.
Yeah, which really sucks.
So close.
But a big glitch that we do here in the speedrun is Krenel clip. So how does this work? So we would normally do this after the Cave of Flames dungeon. We would get the sword upgrade, and we would have the cane before doing this. But you don't have to do it then. You can do it beforehand. But as all you need to be able to do this is you need to have a bottle with some contents in it, and then the sword and the spin attack is going to be enough to be able to do this. So the first aspect of this glitch is called bottle invulnerability. So if we go up to face a sign and we press the bottle to start dumping the contents, and then we read the sign, Link is now invulnerable. If we can show the hitbox view. It doesn't give Link like immunity frames. It just doesn't calculate anything. So now we can just walk through everything and nothing's going to hurt us.
Oh.
So the whole point of Chronal Clip here is we're going to be moving this beetle into position. So we're going to be pushing this beetle over into this spot here. And let's get some collision up. The collision view isn't super useful here, so never mind on that. But if I can show on stream, I think is my... here we go. I think my mouse cursor is on the screen now. Okay, so this block here, below the spiked pegs to the right of Link, is a ledge. If Link is above a ledge, some conditions need to be met, and then it will trigger a jump. What these conditions are is that Link has an input, a direction input, so it can even be away from like of it. All it checks is that some direction is being pressed. Link needs to be facing the ledge tile. So if we want to do it here, we need to make sure the Link is always facing down. If we were facing right, if we satisfy all the other conditions, it wouldn't work because they need to be facing the ledge tile. The other condition is Link has a property called the push value. And this is a counter that counts how many frames you've been pushing against something. It checks that this value is at 6 for ledge tiles, because when you got to a ledge tile, you push against it for 6 frames and then it triggers a jump.
Oh, okay.
So, we can get all of these conditions for exactly 1 frame whilst we click into a wall. And even though we're clicked inside of a wall, which is completely not valid, and it's going to try and force Link out and respawn him at wherever is a safe tile on the next frame, on that frame, while satisfying all the conditions to do a jump from the ledge tile that we're facing, so we trigger a jump.
Okay. So it's going to get us around something or past something? Okay, let's see. Let's see first.
Yeah, so if I do... let's pull up the memory viewer and I have too many values in here. Let's get rid of all of these and then throw it out onto the screen. And I display, there we go. Okay. I don't know how easy that is to see, but there's a thing next to the hearts that says push 0. What we're going to do is we're going to let this beetle sit down. When these beetles are special, the rocks that are above their head, it's not like any of the other rocks. You can't push against any of the other rocks. But for some reason, when we walk into any of these beetles, Link starts pushing against it. And it detects it as like a pushable object for some reason. And we saw like
really weird.
The push value is going up here, so you can see it's counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As soon as it hits 6, it then changes Link's animation to go, oh, we've reached push value 6 against a pushable object, so start doing the animation for pushing against an object. Now, when we sword slash whilst we're pushing, this push value just doesn't go down.
Oh, okay.
So whilst we can just be mashing sword all the time, we're mashing sword, it's not going to go down. When we're mashing the sword, we can hold a new direction and then press sword again, and then Link changes what direction they're slashing and slashes in that new direction. by like interrupting the previous sword slash.
Okay.
And then when we do the slash facing down, Link is now facing down, which is great. We need that for the thing coming up. We hold onto the sword, and because we've got spin attack, Link starts charging the spin attack. We're also going to hold right, and the game is going to detect, okay, the sword slash has ended, and Link is now holding right and holding the sword. So let's start charging the holding the sword, pointing out forwards like we're doing a poke, and start walking Link to the right. And
okay,
because we're using an item, the sword, and we're holding it, it just doesn't update this push value. It doesn't reset it to 0. If we let go at any point, so let's let go of right, we stopped pressing right, it updated, it went down to 0. If we try and start walking in a different direction, we start walking upright, it resets to 0. It only works when we keep like this direction held and we don't change direction whilst we are like freely in control. We could change direction whilst Link was like locked into an animation of using an item. The sword isn't the only item we could use here. We could use a lot of different items that have an animation of like deploying. So using the shield, using the bow, using the gust jar, all of these items have like animations of, you know, Link is starting to use them. We could use those in substitute, but the sword is the most useful to use here.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so we're just going to hold right here. And now the beetle is going to detect, oh, wait, Link is in range of me. I'm going to get up and walk towards them. And it's trying to walk into us, but we've got this bottle vulnerability, so we don't really care. So it walks for a certain distance, and then it's like, okay, I've walked the amount of distance I'm allowed to. Now I'm going to sit
back down.
So it's going to sit down. When it sits down, it turns in. Sorry, if I just go back a little bit to here, when it's sat there, let's load up the collision viewer again. It's solid collision.
So it's going to push you out of bounds.
Yeah.
It's going to turn back into solid collision.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it sits down, it turns into solid collision. So, you know, we've got this deployable solid collision that we can use. So, yeah, we keep holding like this, and then suddenly, bam, it turns into solid collision. We go into the pillar, like, yeah, there we go. There's the solid collision. It's like, okay, we're in solid collision, but we're on the bottom right-hand corner of this block. So let's push Link right. It always checks to push Link right for some reason first. It's just the order the game calculates. So it always checks right first, and it's like, yeah, let's push him right. And then it pushes Link into these pegs. That is also solid collision. So then it's like, no, this is definitely not right. Let's try and warp Link back to a safe tile. But hold on, we've got these conditions for doing a jump. So let's trigger a jump animation, and then we jump.
What?
So
we're going down. Oh, there we go.
We trigger a jump animation. How the jumps work is when Link starts a jump animation, it looks at the tile in front of Link and then goes, is this a valid safe tile to stand on? If not, we'll check the next one in line, and then the next one in line, and it keeps checking. And then when it finds a tile that isn't solid wall collision, it goes, okay, that's the target where we're going to land and we're going to jump to. Then we trigger the jump. It then calculates a trajectory, and then it fires Link in that direction, and he like flies in the air in a big arc and then lands on the safe tile. That safe tile is the first tile out of bounds because it's like, it reaches the end of the screen and it's like, we'll keep checking.
And here, okay, so here we go.
Yeah, now Link is out of bounds. Let's snap the camera to Link so we can just see where he is.
What?
Sorry, okay. Warning, this may crash again. I'll try and avoid. There we go. Okay, so yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
So you can see where the bottom of the wall thing is, and then yeah, there's some solid invisible wall here that is the edge of the screen. So that's just why we can't just walk off the screen.
Oh.
There is a solid invisible border around the screen, and we're just here past that.
Oh, nice. Okay, so what do we do with this?
So, one in order to be able to explain the next thing, we're going to have to talk about parallel universes. Yes, we're going there.
Wait, actually?
Yes. So.
Oh, lol. Okay, I thought you were just quoting, but you're not.
No.
Okay.
So the game keeps track of where Link is in the room by having a tile coordinate, or like just relative to the corner of the room. So if we're in the top left corner of the room, it's value 0, 0. A little bit, okay, this might be a little bit different to what people imagine coordinate systems working, but in this game, the top left corner is 0, 0. If we move further right, we increase the value, and we move down on the screen, we increase the value. So the Y coordinate is like inverted from what you would be thinking. So there's a value that is in like Link's memory that thing that is just saying, okay, relative to the corner of the room, we're at this this coordinate. So let's get this up on screen. Maybe it's actually not important to have it on screen, but the basically there is 2 different coordinate systems, one for Link relative to the room, but another one for Link relative to the like whole map, the whole area, not just the singular room. So when we are somewhere in the wherever we are, the coordinates need to try and match up and keep matched up by doing a conversion where it goes, okay, we're relative to this room, so we need to offset by this amount, and it does it does like a rounding thing. So what happens is it takes Link's real actual coordinate in the whole area relative to the whole map, and it does a it rounds it to the room, but it does a we're gonna have to get into some maths here. It does a modulus operator.
Okay.
This is basically clock maths. If you imagine a clock, when you go around the clock 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you go back to 0, or you go to 12 and then it goes back to 1. It like cycles around, and it doesn't matter. You can add 48 hours and it will just cycle back around multiple times to get to the same spot. The same kind of thing happens here. As we increase our coordinates past a certain point, we hit that threshold, we wrap back around to the other side. What we're going to do is we're going to go far enough down that the coordinates wrap around, and it calculates, hold on, Link is touching the top of the screen. Let's trigger a screen animation, a transition to a new room. And we trigger a transition to the next room down because we're facing down and we hit a screen transition. It didn't matter that it was at the top of the screen. We touch a screen transition and we're facing down. And yeah, so we are going to do that. So we're going to dash down like so, and then we go to here. Oh yeah, this doesn't work if we have the camera on Link. Because again, camera stuff is weird. So let's get rid of this.
Okay.
There we go. Camera's back on Link.
Okay.
We walked down, we pressed down and it triggered the screen transition. We transitioned to the next room down. If we snap the camera back to Link, we are now at the bottom of this new room. So there's we are it saved Link's actual, like when we walked down there, we walked really far down out of bounds. And when it loaded the new room, it loaded the new room at the coordinates that it's supposed to be in the overall area.
Uh-huh.
And Link is still at the coordinates where he triggered this transition. And we're just outside of this new room, so we just missed it. We didn't get caught in it when it loaded, which is normally what happens when you trigger a screen transition. It kind of like moves Link to a new set of coordinates, loads the room. It so happens that we're inside these coordinates. We just about skipped that, so we're like preserving our out of boundedness, so we can just do the same thing again. We can go to the bottom of this area, this room, and it does the same calculation where it's going to be like, like this value that we're like we're trying to calculate and doing this this math operator with. It's met the condition to trigger the screen transition. So we're going to screen transition to the next room down. All of these are valid because all of these have rooms connected below that is like, yeah, there's a room down there, so trigger the transition. This is completely valid. And then here we just did a pause buffer to snap the camera to Link. But if we go back, we can just let it pan, and we can see as we go down through this room, we're here. And here if we snap the camera to Link again, go up a little bit, there's the room down there.
Oh, okay. So now what?
So if we open, oh no,
It crashed.
Yeah, it crashed again.
Oh no.
Okay. I'll keep explaining as I pull it up again. So, if I open up the map and show you where in the map we are, you'll be able to see that we're at quite an interesting position. So, if we just jump ahead, we're gonna just like see a little fast forward of this as we get to the right spot.
I can't see at the moment.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's.
Ooh, all good.
Let's get you the thing back up. There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're just fast forwarding through the whole like the chrono clip thing. If I get to here and then let's open up the map, and you can see where Link is on the map. So they are. We can't really see it on the. Oh. Yeah, Link is kind of like here. But like.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it because it's taking the like Link's real world coordinates. It's like this is the exact coordinate that Link is supposed to be at. And
you go down so far.
We went past the bottom of this room, and we're further down, and we're in here at the moment. We can keep going down a little bit more, but if we have a look over here, it's like, oh, this is a spot we want to go. This is Trilby Highlands. This is an area of the game that the bottom of this area is somewhere that we're only supposed to be able to have access to after we get the red sword. So we would normally have to go to the castle, and the sword in, upgrade it to the red sword, and get the cloning ability. And we can use clones to push a block, which I'll go and show in a sec. But we can, we can just avoid that by doing this movement. So when we get to this spot here, we'll trigger screen transition right, and we managed to get to exactly like this perfect spot. I'll show here on the map. We're kind of like where we transitioned here was perfectly in between this room and this room.
In this room, okay. So,
like our our coordinates right now are we were far enough down so that when we were in this room and we touched the right-hand side of the screen, it goes, oh, you're touching the right-hand side of the screen. We know the room that you're supposed to load into. It's got a screen edge attached to it. It's this room. So we're going to load you into this room. It doesn't matter where you were vertically. we're going to preserve that and keep that as you move over. So this allows you to, when you touch the editor's screen, if you're like at the bottom or the top of the like the little section that you're in, it kind of like has a memory and preserves where that is. But we're completely exploiting this here by being like so far away. We're so far down here, but it's like, yeah, we're just going to preserve like the vertical height that we are in this area, and we're just gonna,
right.
Link is like low enough that he should have been in this room, but it doesn't load this room because this room isn't the room that was connected to Mount Krenel. The room above was. So we're here, and if I so we're also just like we're far enough down that when it does this whole like parallel universe calculate the right position, it will put we're touching the top of the screen here, so we can trigger a down transition to the room below, and we do that here, and we pop into bounds here.
Wow. Okay. Is this the end of the final clip then?
Yeah. We would go and redesign, and we would go and and start the whole Boots quest. But yeah, that's this whole section done.
That's intense. That's a really big
that is
you like go
a really complicated glitch, and yeah, the
oh my gosh. Okay.
It's done in the speedrun, and yeah, it's super cool. Solidified found this one, and it completely revolutionized how we can do it lets us do dungeons in different orders.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Normally it's all in it would be forced, and we can only do it in one order, but when this was discovered, we can do anything. We can do Cave of Flames after droplets if we want.
Right, which is really neat. Okay, that's super cool. All right, so I feel like this is a perfect time for a break.
Yeah.
Let's get up and stretch. Everybody just take a moment and like think about this glitch. This is like a lot of information. That's a lot of stuff to happen in the game in a very short amount of time. So it's really, really cool. But we're going to take a quick break, get up, get some water, use the restroom, do whatever you have to do. We have so much more to come back and do. I know it's going to be hard to fit it all in, but yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely not getting it all in, but...
Right, exactly. Maybe we'll have to do it in 2 parts.
Yeah,
we can talk about it. So we'll chat about it during the break, but we will be back shortly. And again, if you all haven't seen, if you missed some of the Flame Fatales event, you should go back and check it out on the YouTube channel. Just go see what runs were available. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with some more. And we are back with more Out of Bounds. Hi, it's Kungfufruitcup. If you're just joining us, Myth has been doing an incredible job going through all of the glitches in Zelda, the Minish Cap. And when I say like going through it, I mean like details galore. It's like really incredible the amount of knowledge. Myth, the amount of knowledge that you have in this game is awesome. Like this is exactly the kind of nerding out that I hope for when people come on the show.
Oh.
So I'm absolutely loving it so far. And well, I think this is exciting news. I think this is going to be a 2-parter.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just going to continue to take our time here and have Myth just keep going through things. And if you want to see more, you might have to come back for another episode of it. So Myth, just feel free to count us back in so we can just have the timer up because we just use it just because.
Yeah.
And then we can keep it going.
Oh, let's get straight back into this. So yeah, 3, 2, 1, go.
Perfect.
So where did we leave off? We left off with Chrono Clip. We like that whole thing. It was like
swampy.
It was like, oh yeah, we need to talk about parallel universes. Like what? Like is this really a parallel universe kind of thing? It's like what? Like in if you think about where the term was coined in Super Mario 64, it's because there are like duplicates of the level in other like really far off areas. Because it's doing this calculation and then going like, yeah, we're passing all of these collision checks, and so the collision detection is accurate, but we're just so far away, it's, a parallel universe of the level that we're in. And yeah, that is, like, it is what is happening here. We don't really get to see it too well, but I just want to give a demonstration of it here. So, I've deleted some of the collisions so that we can walk out of bounds and keep walking. So if I walk over to the left and I just keep walking and just holding... Oh, wait, no, sorry, I don't have the tools up. You can't see the... There we go. Right, cool. So you can see that, yeah, I just deleted the collision. We're just holding left here. We just keep walking, and eventually you're going to see, oh, look,
here we are again. Wait, what?
It's Shadow Link, because Link isn't here. But the shadow...
Okay. What?
The shadow calculation does the same calculation as, like, the collision and all of that stuff, and it's... Like, yeah, at the moment, Link, the real Link, is really far over to the left, and he is interacting with some parallel universe version of Deepwood Shrine, and we get to see the Shadow Link showing us where, you know, like, relative into the in the room where Link is relative to the room, but, like, you know, Link isn't here. So, like, this is something that we don't really get to see in like a vanilla glitches only version of the game. To be able to get to show this, I had to equip an item called the Fire Rod. Fire Rod is just this insane can of worms. I could do a whole episode on it alone. Which I won't go into too much detail in it, but basically it's a leftover dev tool. The game originally was like, yeah, let's have the Fire Rod in the, when the developers were making the game. They made the art asset for the Fire Rod. You can see it on the A button. Let me just get rid of the collision view so you can see it a bit better. Yeah, there is a Fire Rod there. Like, that's in-game. There is a specific item value. If that is put on the A button, that's what it looks like. It looks like a Fire Rod. And it just so happens that it's using some of these unused item commands that the developers left in. And one of them is called Tile Set Override. The developers, when they were making the game, they didn't want to have to code every single level, load that onto the flash cart, put that into a GBA, and then test it to see, okay, did the code that I write accurately draw the room that I want to make? So they made this tool called Tile Set Override, which lets them copy and paste tiles around and modify the tiles that they're facing. So they could just load up the game once and then start testing stuff without having to constantly take the cart out, put it in, write code, put it back in, and just like doing that back and forth. It helps a lot with development time. So yeah, there are quite a few items that are like this. But this is special because we get to, for some reason, these commands get run whenever you use the item that has this special value that we can't get in regular gameplay, but it is occupying a location that's close to the other items in the item list of like values. Like the sword has values like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for all the different swords, and then like this is the Fire Rod is like value 18, and that's right around Ocarina and Lantern and some other stuff like that. So
it's really similar to another Zelda game I just had on in maybe the Phantom Hourglass. I don't know. It does that for like several Zelda games. I feel like, especially in the.
I always thought the best analogy is the F-boots from Ocarina of Time. So if anyone watched NSR runs, NSR Hundo, as in no source requirement, they do some crazy glitches to get glitched item values, and they get glitched item value boots that have a special property of they just don't have gravity, so you can just float with them. And they exploit that heavily in that run because they have an item manipulation so that they can get items that you're not supposed to get because they just force a certain item value. If we had some item manipulation, we would, on a vanilla game, be able to just give ourselves this item value, and then we would have the Fire Rod, and that we would be able to walk through walls because we can, like, if I just demonstrate it here. let's open up the collision view here. So when I hold, I just hold this button combination, and I copy the tile that I'm looking at, and I can start pasting it around. I need to get the collision viewer to do a special function of update every second. There we go. So now you can see that I'm just deleting these tiles, and there's no walls anymore.
Okay.
So, but we can copy any tile we want. So we can copy this wall tile, and then we can paste it, and it's a wall tile, and we can paste them wherever we want. So we have a lot of control over like what we can.
You can like build your own game right now.
Yeah. So, we have a misc or a category extension called Fire Rod %, where we start the game with the Fire Rod, and we can see how quickly can we beat the game, and it's about 30 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm going to stop talking about Fire Rod now because it is insanely complicated with all of the crazy stuff that we can do, because not as well as just like copying and pasting tiles, we can modify the tiles, so we can give ourselves any tiles we want, and tiles get really weird when you can just put them anywhere. But
yes. So this seems like something that's more so just for, it's like not really for run purposes. This is just a really cool dev thing.
Yeah, this is we are hacking to be able to do this. We are running on a ROM hack to give ourselves this item.
Wow.
You're not so
but
we don't have a legitimate way of getting it yet.
Chat is saying something about Fire Rod %.
Yes, Fire Rod % is the category that we do, the category extension that we do. Well, we try and beat the game starting with this item, and it's awesome. It's so cool. If you see a run of it, it will blow your mind of all the crazy stuff that we do. Yeah, it's only 30 minutes versus the hour and a half that a regular any % run is. So
that's awesome. Super cool.
Oh yes, I'm modding the game. We just modify the value in the on links item slot. We're just changing 1 bit value. But yeah,
super cool.
Okay. So back to vanilla gameplay. I really wish we had some form of item manipulation, because then this would be legit.
It's really cool. I love that. Like, I just want to like see somebody go in there with the dev tool and then be like, I'm just going to build a thing.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few videos on YouTube of people like making minecart tracks, and yeah,
cool.
The minecart tracks aren't predetermined. They are following the tiles on the ground, so you can make your own minecart track if you use this tool.
Oh wow, and it'll like work.
Yeah, it follow it around and put you wherever you put the stop tile. Yeah, it's great.
Really cool.
We'll get onto minecarts in a bit. There's a lot of cool stuff that we can show for it.
Okay. The screen looks great right now. Everything's normal.
Let me load up the where we were. We
were back here. Oh,
I was there. I accidentally loaded a thing. I thought it would not put me there. Okay, there we go. Right, so let's just fast forward through.
Where we went way down.
Yeah, we were doing Chronal Clip. But yeah, I just wanted to demonstrate the shadow link, which is the easiest way was just with the Fire Rod. So yeah, you can imagine that like the shadow link is really far off screen, and they're coming and touching the edge of the screen and triggering that transition to go to the next room. That's effectively what's happening. If you imagine there's just infinite shadow links in all directions. Okay. Bit weird, but it's true.
Okay.
Vertically, horizontally, there's just shadow links in all directions.
It's everywhere. They're everywhere. Why not?
Yeah. So, Chronal Clip. Yeah, we do it to get to the section of the game. Why do we want to be here? Because there is a sign over here that we need to read. That sign triggers the boots quest to actually begin. So then we can go and get the boots. you need the boots to be able to go to the swamp and to traverse the swamp. We'll get to that in a bit because you don't necessarily need the boots. And yeah, we'll come back here later. But at the moment, we're still showing Krenel glitches. So let's jump back into Krenel. Oh yeah, sorry. And just before we go, just wanted to show the thing that we were skipping over here, if just in case people aren't aware. This ladder here, we would enter on the right-hand side. That's the exit to town. So you would just exit town, and then you would go to those blocks there, and you would use the sword, and you would create clones, and you'd push this, and then you'd get over to this area. So like the whole roadblock is like, oh, we need the red sword, but we can completely skip having to get the red sword, which is super handy, and that's what provides the time save in the speed run. Cool.
That's cool.
Okay. Now, that was a really complicated trick. Let's not do anything super complicated. Let's just have a look at some fun stuff.
Okay.
So, climbing walls are weird, and so are rock beetles, and basically everything. So let's put this rock beetle down, and then you saw it kind of like triggered the climb up animation.
Yeah.
Here, like we do the climb up animation. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Link's trying to climb up onto the thing. Let me get rid of the hitboxes as well. They're not super useful here. Why is it still showing the link? Please. Okay. Well, okay. We're gonna have a box around link, but yeah. It thinks that we're on the climbing wall, but not. So we get this very weird, buggy. If you can't tell, if the frame rate's not quite right, it is oscillating frame perfectly. Yeah.
So that he just looks like it's so weird.
Yeah. Nothing useful happens from this, but yeah, it just happens when we walk side to side like that.
Yeah. Huh.
We can get kind of a similar effect as well if we stun one of the tektites and move it closer to the wall and then like try and climb up into the tektite. We kind of like get pushed back out and then go sideways like this. Yeah, it just looks like a visual bug, I think. There's nothing useful from it. It's just cool. Okay, so here...
Love a good visual glitch. It doesn't always have to be important.
Oh, yeah. Like, there's tons of really weird and cool, interesting stuff. So you're just like, oh, that's weird. I didn't know that.
I mean, you just showed off how to erase and re-add the world in small bits at a time. So yes, I agree.
Yeah, so something that is like super, like, I'm pretty sure that like this isn't even a glitch. This is just something that's really like funny. But we have max health right now, and we have drunk a Nehru's Charm, which is double defense. So we got the blue tunic. So we are as tanky as we can be. We shouldn't have any problems fighting Vati. Like we're not going to be taking much damage at all. But there is this spot on Krenel. If we come and stand here, there is these white things. They damage you when you touch them. But also, if we look at the collision view, wait, is there any collision? Oh, sorry. There we go. Let me get rid of layer 2. You can see that like there's only a little tiny narrow bands there around that tree that we can slide in, but we can slide into this little gap here. And then if we hold down, yeah, we die so fast.
Oh my gosh! At first, I didn't even see it doing anything to your health. I just saw like Link, just kind of moving quickly.
Yeah, let's just do a little rewind there and see that again. But yeah, like Link's health just drops so fast, and
what?
Yeah, it's just frame perfectly hurting us.
Yeah, what's hurt? The spikes are hurting you?
Yeah, this white stuff when you walk into it hurts you, and it applies knockback. So like if we come and stand here, like it pushes us away, and you
Oh,
do
okay.
damage down quickly on it if you keep walking onto it. This is why it's so deadly, and a lot of people die in Krenel by just accidentally walking into these things because it's so easy to do. You can oh no, and then you just lost like. And remember, this is double defense. I think these do a quarter of a heart anyway, so the double defense isn't exactly like helping us. But yeah, you die so quickly when you're like you. The recoil is just doesn't get pushed
So fast.
we're against the wall. So yeah, it's so fast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just show that again one last time.
Go. It's drained.
Link is very not happy. You can just hear the pain.
The hardest boss in the game.
So
poor Link.
Yeah, that's that's all of the cool stuff that we have on Mount Krenel. There's a couple of other stuff that kind of like requires us to look at some other locations first, and we'll see some stuff in other locations, and then we'll be like, yeah, we can also do this in Krenel, but we'll just leave that for another for those other spots because it's kind of better to show it off there. But let's head into the dungeon that's located here, Cave of Flames, because there's a ton of cool stuff that we can do in there. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just going to fast forward through these couple of rooms. And then we are going to come to here. So, this room's quite cool if we can come here with the ocarina. So we've got a staircase here. We're just going to do the ocarina glitch. So we can get ocarina glitch off of here. One of the things I don't think I mentioned with the ocarina glitch is you can't pause whilst you have stage 1 ocarina glitch.
So is that another thing that will like soft lock the game?
No, you just can't. If you press the start button, nothing happens.
It literally just doesn't work. Okay.
Yeah, it literally just doesn't work. So yeah, like here, if I just press start, like I'm pressing start and nothing's happening. If I cancel the ocarina glitch by just using... I might not have mentioned that as well, but you can cancel the ocarina glitch by playing the ocarina because the ocarina plays normally and then it gets to the end of its cutscene and then it triggers the end of the ocarina state. So
gotcha.
It resolves the ocarina glitch. The whole point of ocarina glitch is we're interrupting so it doesn't end the ocarina playing state. Yeah, so if we cancel the ocarina glitch, and yeah, if we press start, we can pause the game normally. If we get the ocarina glitch, oh, hold on, my task studio died. I need to reload that, and then it should hopefully work properly. There we go. Cool. There we go. Okay. Oh no! Please don't crash again. Okay, it worked. Okay.
That was weird.
Okay, so yeah, we can still use the cape whilst we're in the ocarina glitch state, but you can see when we're in ocarina glitch, the enemies
they're all just hanging out.
Time frozen.
It's frozen.
Yeah, time's frozen right now, so it's time's not supposed to play normally. So we're going to be using the cape, and you move slightly faster if you do cape hops. We would ideally want to be rolling here, but we can't because if we do a roll, we soft lock. So it's just faster to just do like some cape glides instead. Mm-hmm. But here, there's an Eslo trigger. We walk into it, and then it triggers Eslo to start talking to us and open up the text box. What happens is, okay, time starts playing normally now, and we're not in stage 1 ocarina glitch anymore. When we go into the Eslo text boxes, they transition us into stage 2 ocarina glitch without us having to have left the room, which is really handy. So
okay. That's super nice. So now you can do all the fun things without worrying.
Without soft locking, very importantly.
Yeah, exactly.
The when we're in stage 1 ocarina glitch, basically everything soft locks us. If we try and jump up off a ledge, if we do any jump animation, we soft lock when we land, which isn't great.
Okay.
But when we oh yeah, I should also show that like this is actually like there's layer 1 and layer 2 collision. Because of this underpass, like the area on top is layer 2, so we can walk over and it's not making us interact with the walls on the lower layer. And this tunnel is in layer 2 collision, and it, you know, we don't get stopped by the the fences up on layer on layer 2, because we're on completely different layers. Make sure and the game makes sure that you know, Link isn't is reading the right layer collision properly. So we have the Ocarina glitch on at the moment. Sorry, I have to rewind this for a sec.
It's all good.
We're gonna roll down this this staircase, and it lowers us from layer 2 down to layer 1.
Sure.
And with the Ocarina glitch, we have the whole property of the tile that was stood on only updates when we do something like a roll. So currently we're on regular floor tiles. We're going to go into this wall, and normally when you're in this underpass, the game, these have special tiles that indicate that we're inside of a doorway and we're not supposed to be able to use certain items like the cape. What happens if we can use the cape? We do a cape hop, and we kind of like get clipped into the wall a little bit. These walls are like ledge tiles, and we can trigger a jump. And remember how I said with the ledge jump calculation, it looks at the next tile along and then sees if it's free. And if it's not, it looks at the next one along. So it's looking all the way to the right, and it's finding the first tile that is free, which is just past the tunnel, and then it's going, okay, let's calculate a jump in this direction, which is pretty far away. Let's have a look at what the trajectory looks like.
What?
So if we do a little jump, if it's not a very far distance, Link kind of like does a little jump, but like if the further away we go, the bigger the jumps we get.
So big.
Yeah, we call this like super jump, but yeah, it's yeah, the paths aren't predetermined, they're calculated. Like it's a trajectory that's calculated with a function, like a big curve, as a parabola. So the further away things are, the higher the jump has to be to make it work.
Okay, wow. I love that though. So, but you just seem to land on like the other side of the door. Like, can you land on another layer?
No, we're on the same layer. We were on layer 1 when we like jumped into the wall, so it doesn't then suddenly put us onto layer 2. We can't jump up onto another layer. If we were on layer 2 there and we triggered a jump, it would look at the layer 2 tiles here, and then if it was like air, because above us, like at the moment above Link is an air tile on layer 2, and the game kind of calculates that and goes, oh, we don't ever want to make Link jump onto an air tile, so we'll lower them down to layer 1, and we'll check what's on layer 1 and make sure that's valid as well. And yeah, it checks and it's like, yeah, here's a floor tile, so we'll just jump Link to this spot.
Okay, gotcha.
Also, these so walls and ledge tiles are directional. So whilst I'm I jump into this wall here. Oh, you know what would be really handy if I turned off layer 2 view so you can see. I did this earlier, but I did it in a spot where we don't have any layer 2 stuff. Let's actually turn it off here. Well, there is a bunch of stuff on layer 2. Let's get rid of all of it and see what's just layer 1 here. This is a really useful view, being able to just see layer 2 versus layer 1.
Oh,
so you can see that like those 2s, they're all inside of a wall tile. These are invalid tiles that if Link ever gets put onto them, it's like, no, you're not supposed to be here. And this is layer 1, so we'll push Link up onto layer 2.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay, there's Link like jumping around through this area, and you can see the whole thing of like what it looks like when we get rid of layer 2 and we X-ray vision down and see what is underneath. So you can see there's these. The railroads are still there, but yeah. Let's just go back to here. Yeah, just need to. It's just a resyncing process, and Studio sometimes it has to replay sections over and over again. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so from here, these are like right-facing ledge tiles, so we can jump into them and we can press right, and then we like trigger a jump and fly over to the right.
That's cool.
And yeah, if we try and like press left, it doesn't. Like here, we're holding left, and it's like we can't jump to the left because they're directional. These ones, whoever designed Cave of Flames, when they chose what tiles to put here, they chose the tile that is a right ledge-facing wall. Just particularly to this tunnel. It's not always the case. Sometimes they use different tiles. It's this game very inconsistent with what kinds of tiles they use. We look through a lot of them, and we do notice these weird patterns. It's like, why did they choose to use this type of tile when it's only used in this spot? And you can tell that it's like, oh, maybe someone else on the dev team was working on it this day and not weren't following the same kind of design that the other people on the team were using or something like that.
Do you think that's actually the case?
That's my guess. I've never been able to talk to anyone from Capcom.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Interesting, though.
Yeah.
Well, they get to like see into the game enough to like notice those things. Like we're hanging out on 2.
A lot of the stuff that we have to do in this game is stuff for the speedrun. Is stuff that you can't see Link. Link's obscured by something, or he's out of bounds, and the camera's not looking at him. And it's quite hard to learn. Like, how is it? Like, have I got the right lineup? How I don't understand what's supposed to be going on here. I'm told to just like hold these inputs and do it. But with these tools, it becomes so much easier to learn because then you can visualize. Oh, this is where Link, and that's what they're doing. So then you can just imagine in your mind what's going on as you do the things, and then understand how why something's working or not working. Cool. So, right, let's show off some cool stuff with the minecart now. So,
love how like in every section of game there's just so much packed in, and like a lot of times you'll be like, okay, here's how like a couple of these glitches work, and then you just kind of repeat them in certain areas, and like that's cool, and it's great to be able to see things used really practically all around. But so far, like we've heard of a couple things that kind of translate, like the ocarina, right?
Yeah,
just doing the actual like ocarina glitch. But aside from that, the way that a lot of these things work, besides going back and forth on layers, which is just something in the game, like there's been so much variety, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a quick note.
Yeah, it is a case of like all of the stuff that I've shown can almost be done in like a bunch of different places, but I'm also trying to highlight stuff as like, oh, this is very special to only this spot, or we're applying a very general tool, but when we use it in this spot, in this room, and only in this room for some reason, we get this weird interaction. So,
yeah, really cool. It's very cool. This is the most detail we've had on a show in a while, and I'm like so here for it because it's great to be able to again have that knowledge and like get to learn as much as we can. This is the space for it. So keep going.
So we've got Ocarina Glitch and we've got Time Frozen right now. Let's jump into this minecart and see what happens.
Oh.
Can we? Oh. I thought this was supposed to work. Maybe it doesn't work if I haven't do I just need to? I think Kato's in chat. They can give me a little bit of a hand. I'm not the completely flawless in my knowledge. Despite some people thinking that I am. I do forget things sometimes. I think if I just go into this trigger like this, no, this isn't right, because that's going to open the transition like that. I need the Eslo trigger to make state 2. I've done that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can move on to the next section then. If yeah, sorry, I'm not sure why this isn't working.
That's okay.
Yeah, let's hop to the next area. But basically, we can when we get the Ocarina glitch here, all of the rooms that we're going to go to now are just we get to them by just doing screen transitions. And Ocarina glitch preserves whenever we go to a room that's just the panning screen transition. But if we ever go to a room where we're having to go through some kind of like warp to a new area and the screen fades to white or to black and then it loads to a new area, we then lose Ocarina glitch. It doesn't preserve through those kinds of transitions. If we keep going through this section, we eventually get to like a Minish section, and then we jump down as Minish. Ocarina glitch doesn't apply as Minish because when you're a Minish, you can never use the Ocarina, so it never runs the same kind of calculations. But but when we grow, when we shrink and grow, Ocarina glitch does still get preserved, even though the calculations never matter for Minish sizing. When we regrow, we are still on. We still have the Ocarina glitch, so we can.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We can just run across this lava and stuff, and skip having to do these lava puzzles and stuff like that.
That's cool that it like maintains the state.
Yeah.
Really neat. Okay.
So this room's pretty cool. So there are these roller bites. I tried to show this a little bit in the GDQ run in the at SGDQ just gone by, where we got these roller bites here, and roller bites aren't. Sorry, Link isn't the only thing that can ignore layer transitions when going down staircases. So
okay.
If we come and grab these roller bites and throw them up here.
Oh,
we can grab the roller bite and walk up the stairs. We bring it up to layer 2. Then when we throw it, the roller bite's still on layer 2. It didn't go down the stairs. So we're just like underneath it, and it's just up there on layer 2. It's just levitating.
That's so weird. It's just hanging out there forever now.
Yeah, it's just there. It's going to wander around. Its behavior is it just checks the next tile along, and if it's a valid tile, then it will walk to it. So they never walk off the platforms and into the lava or anything like that. But yeah, so it's just free to roam around this area however it wishes. Let's turn on the collision view so you can see like what the bounds of what it's going to be allowed to wander around in. Let's put layer 2 on. That doesn't look right. I don't think that's the correct collision. The layer 1 collision is correct. Layer 2 is not. That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, so we grabbed this guy with the gust jar and fired him, and he's over there. He is on layer 2. We are on layer 1 still, because we can grab the roller bites and everything and interact on stuff on layer 1. But yeah. So that was just a fun thing with the roller bites that just very easily you can just put them out of bounds.
Pop them out of bounds. They just hang out. They just get to hang out. You can leave each other alone.
So,
And voila.
now this is the first like major glitch of like the any percent speedrun. This is angle retention.
Okay, cool.
Haley gave a great explanation for this in the run, where basically when we go into these holes, how the game calculates facing directions and angles is there's like 3 different systems that they use, and somewhere someone kind of forgot which one they're supposed to use for jumping out of holes. So Link's facing direction is supposed to use one that only has 4 values, up, down, left, and right. However, when Link is walking and their movement uses 8 different directions, because you can walk up, down, left, or right, or you can walk diagonally up, left, up, right, down, right. So when jumping out of a hole, if you want to jump out of a hole diagonally, yeah, you want Link to move diagonally. But what facing direction should they have? Well, they should have one of the 4 facing direction values. But they kind of messed that up, and they accidentally gave them the same value as the direction that they move. So
weird. Okay.
there are special diagonal facing values, which doesn't make any sense. So, like, how can all of the collisions and all of the stuff in the game for interacting with objects, grabbing, pushing, pulling objects, it always assumes that when we're looking at Link's facing direction, it's only ever going to be one of those 4 cardinal directions, up, down, left, or right.
Okay.
So it makes a bunch of assumptions, and if we have a value that's not one of those, we get weird stuff happening. Let's get Link's facing value up on the screen. So I believe that it is... Didn't put all of them on screen. Good. Let's get angle and isolate only that. Put that on the screen. There you go. So we got angle here. It says angle 3. How it works is angle 0 is up, angle 2 is left, angle 4 is down, angle 6 is left. Sorry, I got my directions wrong here. Is up, right, down, left. It's like the clock. It's the same direction as the clock face.
Yeah.
Starting at midnight, going around and increasing by increments of 2. So the value should only ever be even, because Link should only have a facing direction that's up, down, left, or right. The values in between are the odd numbers in between those values. So between 0 and 2, there's 1, and that represents diagonal. And here we jumped down right, so we have value 3, because we're in between 2 and 4. Normally angle value, this facing angle value is going to update anytime we start moving or anything. However, it doesn't update when Link uses an item that locks their facing direction. So if you're using the shield and then you start moving around, Link is always going to be facing the same direction. Like charging an arrow, he's going to be like strafing. So to get strafing to work for holding items, they made it so this value just never updates. So we can exploit that and be able to go anywhere we want in a room. So we're going to use the boots here to do a boot dash over to this pillar. And we've been preserving this angle the whole time.
Okay.
The boots doesn't pay attention to the angle. Well, it does a little bit, but it kind of behaves as you would expect. Someone did a good job with programming that. But some other items don't, and they will work diagonally. So if you use the gust jar and blast with the gust jar, it kind of like does it in the correct direction with the gust jar. It fires in the direction that Link is looks like they're supposed to be facing. But the recoil was diagonal. So you get a bit of a mixed bag there. I can I can show it here with the
Yeah. I
gesture.
want to see.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, so you use the gesture and you kind of like go diagonal like that.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I what we're really interested in is these pillars. So if we grab a pillar, how the game calculates how a pillar is supposed to move is it looks at the facing angle and then it moves the pillar in the opposite direction to the facing direction. Does that kind of make sense? If Link is facing to the right and he pulls a pillar, the pillar should move to the left.
Yes. Okay. Sure.
They didn't expect to have a diagonal value. And also, when you're...
Oh, because Link technically isn't just facing right.
Yeah, he's facing down right. Link's facing value is diagonally down right, which means that the opposite of that is up left. So when we pull it, it's going to pull it up left. Now,
okay.
Normally, when you push an object, the object needs to check collision because it can get pushed into a wall. So it needs to know, am I being pushed into a wall? And then stop if I'm getting pushed into a wall, because you're not supposed to push them into walls. That's how physics works.
Right, of course.
If you're pulling an object, the object is going to go to the spot that Link was. So the object never checks collision. It doesn't need to. Because if we're pulling, we pull the object and it's just going to occupy where Link is. So Link is the one that's checking collision. Link is checking behind him. It's like, okay, I need to check what's behind me. If there's a solid wall, I can't pull this back anymore. But there are 3 tiles here, so we're going to pull the object back, and because it's like, okay, Link is pulling me, so I'm going to go, and it just starts going. We keep pulling to the left, but like Link has a diagonal facing value, so it's like, okay, we triggered the pull in the opposite direction to Link's facing value. We're going to pull up left. Link kind of gets stuck on the collision, and you can see because like they're. We can pull the collision up, but it's kind of a bit obvious here, isn't it? Oh, wait, no, this has got a bugged collision in this room. But yeah, like these blocks and stuff, it's like, okay, Link's trying to walk diagonally up into them, but there's solid collision, and Link's checking collision, so no, we're not going to put Link into these tiles. So yeah, Link is just... Link can't go up at all, so he's kind of like moving left a little bit, the left component of the diagonal movement. But yeah, the pillar just keeps going because it's like, I don't need to be checking for collision.
Yeah, now it's gone. So it's fighting because it's not quite on layer 2 or anything, but now it's just hanging out under it.
So it just keeps going for as long as we're holding on to this thing.
Sure.
Let me pull up the object in the entity list, the pillar. Here we go. Let's snap the camera to it. Can we go to like here? There we go. Okay, so the camera's... Oh no. It crashed again. Oh.
It hates this. It hates
really
showing
doesn't
it.
like the view.
It's so funny.
I think it doesn't like it when it's some combination of when I use my task tools. It was all working fine earlier.
That's okay. Again, we're gonna have more time on this.
Yeah,
and let's finish up this part, and then we'll take like another really quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll have time for like a little more. We'll go a little extra tonight.
So. Let me pull up my the tools here. Cool, and let's try again. Let's snap the camera to the pot. The pillar. There we go. There we go. Right. Ooh, okay. This is a little bit... There we go. Yeah, so I just moved the camera a little bit, and it's not going to stay snapped to it, but like it's in a good spot right now, so you can see where it's going as it's going off screen. So we pull it to this spot here. That exact tile there, I don't know if the collision view is going to be good to see. Oh, no, please don't crash again.
Okay.
I'm not going to show
Why don't we just-
the
maybe we just need to
camera
talk
snap
about
again.
it.
But basically,
Yeah.
we put the pillar on the edge of the screen. That's the like where we would trigger a screen transition to the next room. Remember when I showed the chronal clip out of bounds and showed that there was like a solid like wall around the edge of the screen? When we put the tile, like we put the pillar onto that tile and then we let go of it, the pillar now occupied that spot and replaced whatever was there.
Okay.
So we just deleted the wall.
That's interesting. Okay. Pull things back up for me.
I'm
trying to see. Do we have a good...
Oh, is it up? Let me pull it up for you again.
A good crashing. Okay, cool. I'm good. I got it.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, let's just do this normally. Okay, so we saw where it was before, but it was basically just off screen up on the top. And yeah, so then we let go of it and it's like, okay, I'm here. I'm just going to occupy this tile that I'm now stood on. So now we're going to go up and I'm going to be greedy and I'm going to try and snap the camera to Link just temporarily. It shouldn't crash this time because we're just doing it for a little short
little teeny
thing.
bit.
Just a little teeny bit. Like, okay, go to Link. There we go. Okay, so you see where the pillar is. We go up to it and then we push it because currently the tiles Link is stood on is a doorway, and that's the doorway tiles are like, no, you're not allowed to be pulling an object onto us. So we're going to act as like a solid wall, and you're not allowed to. You're not even allowed to grab an object whilst you're in here. So it's like, okay, we'll push this pillar because above the pillar, it's just void. There is no collision, so it's fine. We can just push it up once. Now we're then stood on the tile that the pillar replaced, which is just regular floor. So now we're allowed to grab the pillar. So, I'm worried that it broke. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm not going to show it, but we grabbed the pillar and then we pull, and it we pull into into the doorway. The doorway is different compartments to it. There's the entrance of it that's like very special. That's like no, you're not allowed to be on us, and we're going to act as a solid wall to stop you from pulling an object that you're currently pulling onto us. But internal doorways don't have to do that, because the only way you're supposed to have got onto one is by coming through an entrance. So if we check the entrance, we don't need to check or do the same kind of calculations on the internals of the door of these doorways. So we pull into there, fine, but then it calculates, oh no, Link is pulling an object and we're a tunnel, we're a doorway tile. Link's not supposed to be here. Warp Link back to his last safe location, which was the tile that we stood on to go up to start pushing the pillar. So we get warped back into bounds. So this is why we get this weird like warp back in, and then we can like use the force to pull the pillar. But we grabbed onto the pillar, we never let go, and we're still attached to the pillar despite us being displaced physically from it, because it likes to. As we saw, it calculates the movement differently despite starting next to each other.
Yeah, why we're so far from it. Okay.
Oh, and the reason why we wanted to pull the pillar back in, we could have just pushed the pillar out of bounds, and then that's good. Like, we're good. We now have access to out of bounds. We can go to some other room in the dungeon without without and you get to skip some stuff. But we want a small key. This chest has a small key, so we're gonna put it back in here and we're gonna grab this small key.
But you still have the properties set.
So those tiles, they were permanently altered. They're going to stay like that as long as we've got this room loaded. When we reload the room, it's going to load to whatever it originally was like when we first entered the room. It resets to that version. But yeah, pulling that pillar back into bounds. Yeah, no, the transition tile's gone. We can now walk out of bounds. So let's just put the camera to link. And I show us going out of bounds. There we go. Cool. So we're gonna walk out of bounds. We're just walking really far. Can I show? It really doesn't like me. I'm not going to touch the camera thing anymore. But yeah, I'll open up the map. And we can
before we like continue on with this bit. Why don't we take another like really quick break so we can come back and do the rest of what we have in like one more chunk. We have a part 2.
Cool.
I'm good.
Yep, that sounds great.
Okay, sweet. All right, everybody. We're gonna this will be a super quick break. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to tell you before. I already talked about Flame Fatales. So you already know that. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. We'll be back in a few minutes. And if you want to work with GDQ, we're hiring if you have experience in social media creation and you want to help out at our live events. You can go to gamesdonequick.com/jobs to apply. That's it. Otherwise, we'll be right back. right, everyone, we are back with some more Out of Bounds. Okay, we have another section of this game left, but just kidding, we have a lot of game left. So we are going to get through what we can tonight. We are going to come back with a part 2. It'll be a couple weeks. We'll figure it out. I'm really excited to see more of this game. But for now, let's have some more time. Myth, I mean, take it away. Count us in. Show us off more. Like, we haven't even finished with this angle retention. So I want to see how this results.
Yeah, my PC is trying to do its best to stop me from explaining this, but yeah, we'll get going again. So
yeah,
3, 2, 1, go. Cool. So, yeah, so we're out of bounds right now. Like, the whole point of doing that angle retention was we were deleting a tile and we could get out of bounds. We're currently somewhere. Where are we? Let's pause the game and we'll go to the map and we can see we're in this spot here. It's you can see where the Link's dot is relative to the room that we were just in and the rest of the floor of this dungeon. But if we unpause and we screen transition, we are here, and you know, when we open it up, we just happen to be perfectly in the middle of this room. This is a speedrun setup that we did here. We can land anywhere, and what is happening is we're touching the right hand side of the screen, and it's going, oh, you're touching the right hand side of the screen. We should transition you into like to the right, but it does it in a special way where it goes, okay, what is Link's coordinates? And like vertically. And then it goes, okay, these are within the bounds for this room, so we're going to load this room. That's a special kind of transition that happens in certain places when one room has a border with multiple different rooms and it needs to know which room am I supposed to be loading, so it checks Link's position.
Okay.
So it doesn't even matter that we're out of bounds really far off screen. It's still going to do that detection check and go, oh yeah, Link's supposed to be loading this room, going to this room. Let's load this room. So then it loads the room.
Hanging over here. Yeah.
Which is super useful. Like, this isn't the only room we could go to. We could go to the rooms below or above. Why do we choose here? Because this is the one spot that doesn't soft lock us. And it's easy to soft lock here, by the way. If we instead do slightly different movement here. Oh no. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we're soft locked.
Okay, now we're in here.
We didn't quite land on the bridge, if you saw. We were just a little bit too low. So like we were here. We wanted to be like a tile higher, and it's so hard to know, is that the right spot that we're going to when all we see is the previous room. All we see is this. That's all you see. And you're like, you press buttons, nothing visually is showing you anything. So it's hard to know, are we in the right spot? So we come up with blindfolded strats here. We hold upright, and then we just count the number of rolls that we do. And it took so long for us to figure this out. Shout outs to Semi-Rare. They figured this out finally, because we had to do some other strats which was so inconsistent, but then they found this, and it's like, oh, this is such an easy setup. Everyone can do this. Beginners starting the game for the first time. This is one of the first major glitches that you're going to do. It is in the beginner route, because when it's explained, it's like, oh, this makes perfect sense, and then you can follow through and replicate the steps very easily, and not be worried that you're going to soft lock.
So then all the runners can do it. You don't have to. It's always great when that consistency is found, just in general.
Like, Semi was trying to go for world record attempts, and they were soft locking here, and it's like, it's so annoying that my runs are resetting 30 minutes in.
Exactly.
I need to make this consistent. They made it consistent. Thank you.
I know, that's so nice.
Yeah, so we transition and yeah, we land perfectly on this bridge instead, and we spawn it directly on a a Keese, which is great, and get damage boosted. That's lovely. So yeah, that's angle. That's the out of bounds that we do after angle retention. So yeah, the benefit of that is we save a small key. If we go to the next rooms, we get to this spot, which is there's a locked door there that we want to open so that we can go and continue with the dungeon. Otherwise, we would need to go and do a backtrack and get another small key, and it's way slower. It's a nice time save. It's like 2 minutes. But yeah, so that was a technical glitch that we do in the speedruns. Complicated, lots of stuff that we have to go into. Now time for a glitch that's fun and that serves no practical uses, but it's funny. So we just got the cane of Patchy. When you use it, it fires an energy ball, and if you aim it at a hole, when you climb in the hole, you get a special spring jump and can jump up onto higher elevations by when you use it. This is a fun spot if we use the cane shot here. There's an Eslo trigger here. There's an Eslo text box trigger in this area. So we can trigger the Eslo trigger when we get into the hole, and then this happens.
Oh my god! What? Wait.
So yes. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to fast forward through this. Okay. Yeah. So we use the cane on the hole here. And all we're going to do is we're going to go to the hole. I had Ocarina glitch earlier, but I just cancelled it now. So, but yeah, here there is a trigger there, and we're just going to dash. So we're fast enough so that we hit the bounds to get into the trigger, and we land in the hole at the same time. And because these things are happening simultaneously, we get this weird interaction. It's just so funny that how Link is just in his neutral position and is just jumping up, because that's not how a cane jump is supposed to look. It's the cane jump is supposed to look like this. Link has a whole springing animation.
But we want to talk to Eslo.
But Eslo's no.
Yeah.
Hold on, you got to talk to me first. I got to explain that there's a hole. You need to use the cane on it. Okay, so when we go down the stairs here, we're going to come down into the basement. So the basement has a really long lava section, and it takes a long time to go through, and it's really boring. So you have to do that to get to the big key to fight the boss. We want to try and skip doing that if possible. We have multiple...
Right, of course.
We have multiple ways of doing this. We have 3 different, and I'm going to go through them, and then I think that should cover us until the end. So we have this first one. This is called Portal Jump Storage. This uses Ocarina Glitch. Because we don't have the Ocarina when we come here in an any % run at this point, we can't do this. But if you remember what I said about Chrono Clip, that we can do it before going to this dungeon, and it lets us do dungeons out of order, we can go to Fortress and we can get the Ocarina, and we can come back here, and then we can do this to skip.
Oh, okay.
To Gleerock. This is faster than the other methods, but it's not fast enough to make that route faster. It is a little bit slower. Not too much slower, but it is a little bit, so it is suboptimal. It's a very cool and interesting route, but because you're doing dungeons in a different order. But yeah, it just so happens to be that the intended way is still just a little bit faster. So we're going to get the ocarina glitch. Now, there's a portal here, a Minish portal. Now, we kind of take for granted that, like, we go up to a Minish portal and we push against it and we kind of, like, jump up onto the portal. Why are we, like, it doesn't matter where on the edge of the portal that we're jumping, like, that we triggered a jump. It calculates, like, a brand new path, and it's like, okay, here's where the center of the portal is. We're going to calculate a trajectory to get Link to jump to this exact spot. Now, some rooms have different portals, so the game can't just be like, oh, if you're in this room, jump to these coordinates when you're pushing against a portal. It has to know in advance, like, what portal are we close to and that we're going to jump towards. This is a value that updates every time you go near a portal and you see the particles. Like when you go near a Minish portal, let me not get Ocarina Glitch here and just go to it. That's not recording. Here we go. Okay, so if we come over to here, yeah, see all of these particles and stuff.
Sure.
The game detects, okay, Link is near a portal. This is the most recent portal that we're close to. Anytime we're going to jump onto a portal, we jump to the middle of those coordinates.
Okay.
What we do when we get the Ocarina Glitch is it doesn't happen. It doesn't detect that Link is near to a portal because time's frozen.
So sparkly.
This is one of the things that gets interrupted during the Ocarina Glitch state, as well as, like, you know, none of the enemies moving. It's just part of the time stop. So,
right, okay.
The game is going, what are the most recent coordinates that Link went to? And it looks at a memory address. And this memory address is just 0 because we've come into a new room and we haven't gone near a portal yet. The coordinates are literally 0, 0. It's the origin, it's the room origin coordinates. The very far top left corner of the room, it's going to try and jump Link over in that direction. But also, Link has a max range of how far he's allowed to jump when he's jumping onto a portal. So it's not going to jump him, like, insanely far. It's just going to jump him a little bit. So we push against a portal, and it jumps us up. The room that we're in at the moment is really far down. It's not actually the room coordinates, it's like the area coordinates for the whole room.
Oh.
This room that we're in is really far down in this area list, and near the left edge. So when you look at the angle, it's almost perfectly up when it's trying to point at the origin. So that we kind of like jump almost vertically upwards. And now this is really interesting because we're not near a portal. What happens when we try and use items? Normally we can't use items when we're on a portal. We go and stand on it, we press any of the buttons, nothing happens. But kind of like an oversight is that if we press the R button, the game allows inputs to be detected for the buttons. Because when Link's pressing R on the portal, it's like, oh yeah, Link is Link. We should make Link shrink. You press R to shrink. So when we press R and another item, it's going to allow the item to get used. Normally, this doesn't happen when we're on a portal because when you're close enough to a portal, in the portal jump, or not, you've jumped onto a portal state. Anytime you press R, it immediately starts playing the shrinking cutscene. But we're far enough away from the portal that we're not close enough that pressing R is going to make us shrink, which means we can now use items whilst in this portal state. Currently, we can't move. If we press any direction, it's going to treat us like we're on the portal. And anytime you hold any direction, you jump off of the portal, it triggers a jump, and then Link's normal and he's walking around like normal. So let's... oops, I put the collision view on. There we go. So we'll play the ocarina and we'll start time playing normal. So like we're canceling the Ocarina glitch now. So now we can pause and we can equip any items we want. Let's try and use some different items. So if we equip the shield and the gust jar, these are quite useful items. We use the shield, we tap a direction, the shield button B and R at the same time, we use the shield there. So like if I show it in slow motion here, there, we just deployed the shield briefly for a second and it changed Link's facing direction. It's like now Link is facing left, even though like we're on a portal, so it's the same animation of holding right or like looking down or whatever. Link is now facing left. If we use the gust jar fires in the direction that's Link's facing direction and recoils us in the opposite direction. So when we do that, we get to move. If we try and press any, like if like I'm gonna hold down, I'm gonna try and press down. Link kind of like just does a jump animation and jumps down from the spot he's at, and then like he's yeah, as I said before, he's like just regular.
So everything's fine, right?
Everything's fine. So this is the only way that we can move around is by like facing different directions and then pushing us along with the gust jar. So I just want to show some over here. This is this is a soft lock, but it's really cool. So what happens if we jump into a staircase?
Like from the state. Oh, wait, is he climbing the stairs forever now?
Link is, yeah, he's climbing forever.
Oh no.
This is called Stairway to Heaven.
Oh no. Oh, because he just goes. If you could like have the camera follow him, would it just continue to go up?
Oh yeah, Link is just locked into this animation of constantly going upwards. It kind of like missed it knew to trigger the stairwalking animation, and it kind of didn't get onto the right path because this is a spiral one, and it's the same state of stairwalking, but these tiles have like paths on them so that it knows to make Link follow the right path, so it looks like he's animated correctly and walking in the right direction. But we kind of like skipped over the path nodes, and now Link is walking until he hits a waypoint to go in the right direction, but there are none because we jumped over them. And yeah, he's gone. And yeah, this is a soft lock. There's nothing we can do.
Right.
But if we don't soft lock, instead, we trigger, we do this whole setup and we're in this state. This whole thing is known as portal jump storage because we're storing the portal jump and we can deploy it wherever we want. Let's come over to this spot over here. So if I pull up the collision view, we can see all of the layer 1 collision there. Let's have a look at the layer 2. Oh no. Okay. There's a crash. I don't think the layer 2 collision down here is very happy with that. But there is a spot that you don't need to have the view up to be able to see it, but we'll show you just in a second. All right, and we're back here. Cool. Yeah, let's not turn layer 2 on. So you can see like where all of the pink stuff is showing the collision and everything. Now, very importantly, these traps, these blade traps as they're moving, they will hit us and they will hurt us. A really bad thing about the state is if we get hit and damaged, we can't use items anymore, which basically means we get
soft locked. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not exactly soft locked because we can press any direction to hop down, but we just can't use items. So we can't get to the spot that we want to go to unless we can dodge these guys. And these guys move quite quickly and we have to time it perfectly so that like we're pushing through here without getting hit. So like, yeah, so like here I'm going to use the gust jar and I'm waiting for the perfect timing. And then I'm going to just start blasting. And I move through to this spot here.
Oh boy.
Now
Oh my gosh.
we gust jar down to this spot here, and now we're against a wall. When we trigger our portal jump by holding a direction, if we're against a wall, we're going to jump to the top of the wall. And we jump up here, and now we're on layer 2. There just happens to be some empty layer 2 collision here, whereas I can show it in, if I turn off the collision.
That area?
Yeah, so like here, you can see that like there's a wall here, and there's all of these walls here. But for some reason,
just not.
like, and there's walls here, but when we come over to here, oh look, there's a there's a gap there. If we try and jump up anywhere else, it's like, oh no, there's all solid collision here, and you can't get enough distance to get up high. Get up onto layer 2, but there's just like 2 tiles for no reason of just regular floor tiles on layer 2, and when we trigger the jump, it's like, oh yeah, there's just floor there that we can come and stand on, so it just jumps us up there. That's so useful, and it's just a nice exploit with the level geometry. If that wasn't there, we couldn't do this.
Right, exactly. So they just kind of overlooked it, I guess, when Endeavor didn't think it would matter because you're not supposed to get up here.
Yeah. So yeah, and then like from here we're golden. Like from here we can just come over to here, and then we come up through here, and then like we go into a new room and we roll down. And here's the boss. We just skip to the whole basement of the dungeon. So that like the goal is to get to layer 2 out of bounds. If we can get to layer 2 out of bounds anywhere in this dungeon, in this basement area, we can get straight to the boss without having to get the boss key. So let's show off the other 2 versions of this. So this is the one that is now seen in all of the any% runs. We like everyone does this. This is slightly newer than the last one that I'm going to show, but is also pretty old. This was discovered in like 2019. So we're going to be rolling around these roller bikes down this room down here. I don't know if you like. Let's just pull up what room that we're in here. So we're just like further down from the room. The top right of this room was of the map is where we were just now. So we're just like 2 rooms down. So
right. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
We're going to get this roller bike. We're going to throw one into the corner like that. We're going to grab this gust jar, and we're going to put this roller bike into the wall there.
Great.
Yeah, as we saw with roller bikes earlier, we can kind of just like
put them
everywhere. And now we're going to be just making use of everything that we learned so far in the dungeon. We're going to be doing angle retention. We're going to be, abusing roller bikes. We're going to be pulling pillars and stuff out from walls. So let's do that. So, we grab the pillar. It respawned us to wherever our last save tile is. We're like we're like pulling the pillar diagonally because we had angle retention. Now we're going to put this pillar into this spot here. Then we're going to get angle retention again. Rolling as well will preserve our angle retention, which is very nice. And then we move with the swords to get into the right spot. Pull the pillar one more time diagonally up into there. And then another diagonal angle retention. When we grab the pillar with diagonal angle retention, the calculation for where it's like remember when I mentioned before with when we were in Deepwood and we were grabbing statues, and it's like it tries to center link depending on the direction that they're facing. Well, we have a diagonal direction, so the calculation is just completely screwed, and it doesn't know where to put us. And it tries to put us upright in the top right corner of the pillar, like like there. And that's exactly where we put the roller bike. So we spawn on the roller bike, take some damage, get damage boosted up even more, and touch the top of the screen transition, and trigger the transition to the next room.
Wow.
On layer 2. And now, yeah.
Okay, we put it all together.
And we can go to the boss again. So that's just the version that we do in the speedrun.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's not the only like thing that you can do with the pillars in this room. This is stuff that you don't see in the speedrun, but like it's actually going to be useful in it's useful in the randomizer because there are some chests in this area that you would be skipping if you had to do this to skip directly to the boss. But if we do some angle retention stuff, you can make this room faster. So we're gonna put this pillar over to this spot here. And we're gonna get angle retention here, and we're going to grab the pillar, and it's gonna just warp us down here because the game just doesn't know what to do. I don't know why the things are the way they are. With like, if you do angle retention in this orientation and grab it from this angle, it's gonna put you in this spot. I don't know.
I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like this is the first time all night you said, I don't know why this happened.
Oh, there's plenty of stuff I don't know.
Right,
I kind of just don't... I haven't been showing it off. There's plenty of stuff later on that I'm going to just be like, I don't know why this is a thing. I tried looking at the decomp. It doesn't make any sense.
It was like, well, it just happens. You know what? Sometimes the things that just happen can still be useful. You know, as long as you can replicate it.
And if
you can show the setup
for one last thing, are we coming up on time?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know how much time we've got left, but if we've got time for one more thing, then this is going to be the very first boss key skip that was discovered. It's called Warble Hop.
Okay.
So, Warble Hop is combining shooting a cane at a hole with angle retention. Because put 2 and 2 together, can you guess what's going to happen if you have a diagonal angle when you do the spring jump?
We're gonna fly.
Yeah. We're going to get a diagonal cane jump. So...
Yep. Really weird.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Now, I'll show this a little bit in a second, but we're going to get diagonal angle retention here. We are getting diagonal angle retention. I'll explain this in a second, but we diagonal angle upright at the moment. I know we're jumping out the hole the other way, but it's fine. We cane shoot the hole, and then we're going to walk into the hole, preserving our angle retention, and we're going to spring jump, nearly upright, and the spring jump is trying to put us onto layer 2 because the stuff to the left of us, like you can see there was a staircase to get up to this. So like that's a higher elevation. Everything up there, that's layer 2. The cane jump lets us get from layer 1 up to layer 2. It gets us up ledges and stuff. So, but because we're doing it diagonally, like the distance is still the same. So when we do it diagonally, we're not going up as far. It's like we're there's a big circle around that is like our range, and we're choosing a diagonal direction on that. So we're not going as far left as we need to completely clear the... Now, I'm certain that this is going to work because I have looked at the collision view for this. So layer 2 collision should work in this room. It didn't, it crashed. I checked this earlier today and it was fine. My PC really hates me. But
there's so much.
Basically, we don't quite land on the top that we're supposed to, and we land on layer 2 just in the air, and we can then from there go out of bounds to wherever we want in this area, which happens to be also where the boss is. There we go. So these holes...
Wait. I want to see 2.
Yeah, okay, here's the cane jump. So we jump up there. Oop. Yeah, now we're on layer 2. And then, so from here, We're in a room that's like on the other side of a bunch of lava stuff, so it's like really hard to come over to here because we'd have to ride all of these lava platforms. But we can just come over to here, and here we're at the same spot here, and we can come up through here and go down, and we're at the boss. So this was the first version that was discovered, and it was like, oh, that's really good. We can skip having to do the rest of the lava section, which saves a decent amount of time. But then very quickly afterwards, we discovered the one way further back at the roller bike room, and it's like, oh, this is even better. We save even more time.
Right.
And also, it skips the difficulty of this. Werble Hop is normally fine. This is what we call it. We call it Werble Hop. It's the German name for the cane spring jump.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, this because this game released in Europe first, than not over North America. There's far more European players. There's loads of German and French players in the community, so that all of the stuff is named German and French names.
Gotcha.
To be able to do this, we need to do a diagonal jump out of the hole. We can't do an up left angle jump out of this hole because there's a wall there and we kind of like get pushed straight back down into the hole. So we need to somehow get angle retention and jump out of a hole either up, right, or left. And we can do that with a very precise set of inputs. So how does Link jump out of a hole? Well, remember the push value that we were talking about before with like ledges and like pushing against objects? The holes also pay attention to the push value. When we hold a direction for 6 frames, it's charging this push value up 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When it hits 6, it then triggers the jumping out of the hole animation. And the direction that it chooses to do this jump out of the hole animation is the input of the frame after. But the facing direction of Link is what was being held during those 6 frames. So we can hold, so here I'm holding left and I hold left for 6 frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the next frame, if you see on the inputs, I go up. And then when it triggers a jump, it jumps Link up, but he's facing left. This is frame perfect. If you do a frame different, you're not going to be jumping in the right direction, or you're not going to be having the correct value. And you would know if Link doesn't have the right facing value because he would be facing up if we timed this wrong. So you need to try and see Link doing this weird, like strafe jump out of the hole, and that's when you know you've done the trick properly. But that's frame perfect, and it's hard to do. So
so trying to replicate that instead of the one you found later, that's shorter and easier.
Yeah, there's no frame perfect inputs required for the one with the roller bike room. So this one was quickly swept aside and gone, nah, let's not. Glad we don't need to do that anymore.
Right, this is like the second time I think we heard something like, oh, this is easier that was found, and
this game has a rich history of really hard strats that are frame perfect, and then finding literally the simplest and easiest thing imaginable that completely skips it and invalidates it and makes and it's even faster. So
it just means that it's become a more accessible run for people. So if people want to learn it, like it's just more accessible, and that's really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
When this glitch was discovered in 2019, it then meant people going for world record were doing exactly the same route that everyone who was beginning to learn the game was doing. It was identical. The only difference was optimization and just getting better at it. There was no new stuff to learn, new tricks to save even more time that are harder. No, It was just all the hard glitches are outdated and
really cool though. That's a really nice thing to have.
Yeah, it was a really nice era of competition.
I agree.
But I think we're very much up on time now, aren't we?
I think for today we probably are, but I know that there's still a lot to go over. I've been provided with an outline myself, you all. And there's some other really cool stuff on here. I'm excited to see the rest of it. So what we're gonna do is, again, we're gonna put this into a part 2, and that might happen. It might be a couple weeks. We'll figure it out. I got to figure out the exact date because we had a lot of people lined up. But I want to move things around so we can get Myth back in here ASAP so that we can see more of this awesome Minish Cap action. I love it. I mean, this is like, I like the thoroughness of this. I love it. I think it's like refreshing. I like seeing, I mean, I like the variety of what we get to see from show to show, from runner to runner. So I really appreciate it, Myth. In the meantime, I know we'll have you back on soon, but I'd love to hear or just have you kind of like let everybody know who's watching right now, where we can find you, what you're doing, what you're working on, and I don't know, just give your shout outs now, and you'll get to do it again soon.
Yeah, so I think the shout outs that need to be given are to the community events that are happening in the Minish Cap community. PK, one of the other runners in the community, and myself are organizing a history event where we are going through the last 10 years of Minish Cap speedrun history, and there's 7 different major routes through this history. And over the course of 7 weeks, each week we're going to have a runner from the community come and demonstrate each one of these runs, starting from the very legacy route of the game back in 2014, which did basically nothing except for Ocarina Glitch, and that was like the only thing known at the time. And from that point, each week we build in all of the new things that were discovered at that time and slowly build up to the modern version of the run that we have today. That's going to be starting at the end of September.
Okay. I love that. So that if maybe we could get you in, hopefully we can get you in before that, and then we can see the rest of this. And that would be like a perfect lead in, by the way.
Yeah.
Love. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about, or just where else we can find you?
I mean, you can catch me on on Twitch when I'm streaming. My name is Myth197. I do stream very infrequently on Twitch, but if you check out my YouTube, if you like people like Ancoic, for example, with SM64, that do these short snippets of like stuff to do with the game. My content's just like that, where it's going to be a couple-minute video that's going to be just like some gameplay of some really cool, weird thing that's happening in the game, with a text description explaining what's going on. So if you want to learn more about Minish Cap, definitely check that out. And also, earlier this year, I made a any% beginner route tutorial that is 3.5 hours, and it from start to finish explains everything as a beginner to be able to finish your first speedrun of the game if you're interested in learning the speedrun. So now is a good time to learn it, because that's a up-to-date route, up-to-date tutorial.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's super cool. And again, like based on seeing some of these, I know like Ocarina of Glitch seems a little picky, but you do have like a setup that is more consistent with it. So I mean, I think this is definitely something that anybody who's interested in, like, oh, what Zelda game should I pick up, or like, what do I think is consistent? I think I saw something earlier in chat that was saying like you can do at least 95% of the stuff on the Switch version.
Oh yeah, the if you're playing on the Switch version, yeah, it's the same region, as long as the only differences are Japanese, European, US. Anyone who has got an NSO on their Switch, it doesn't matter what region you're from, you can get the Japanese version. And you can play on the optimal version with all of the same glitches that are required for the speedrun. So yeah, it's a really accessible version, the Switch. So it's definitely great if you can get yourself one of those. Other versions are Wii U and a Game Boy player. If you got one, you can load in your actual cartridge, which I have.
But oh, like, what
sorry, I had to just go grab that.
No, love that. But again, I think it's really cool to, again, like this is a really good time to get into this game. If you're at all interested, maybe try it out, test it out, see if it's something that you like, because of how accessible it is, not only in the Switch, but you have this awesome, oh, I see the card. Yeah. This awesome like tutorial you can watch. And again, go check out Myth. We will have him back on. We want to hear the rest of this stuff. Thank you so much, Myth. I really appreciate you coming on and really taking your time and
Thank
really
you.
breaking it down for us.
Thank you
It's
so
been really
much
cool so
for
far.
bringing me on. I can talk about this for literally hours, and I'm
I
glad
love
that
it.
everyone here got to see a little bit of what people in the Discord experience.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, don't worry. We will have you back on soon for some more. But thank you so much for being here. And just so you all know, I know I didn't mention earlier, but really cool info. GDQX is going to be returning to TwitchCon this year. I will actually be there. I'm going to be there doing some stuff around the centers. So if you're at TwitchCon, you can see me there. But yeah, it'll be, TwitchCon's October 20th to 22nd. You can submit some speedruns. It is open through now through 11:59 p.m. Eastern on August 27th. So go ahead and submit some speedruns if you're going to be at TwitchCon. So I think it's gdqx.gamesdonequick.com. That's what it looks like. You can go there. Yeah, runners who are accepted will receive a TwitchCon badge and the opportunity to showcase their speedruns on the GDQ stage. Cool. So you can also do exclamation GDQX in the chat if you want to just get more details there. But yeah, super excited to be able to finally be like, oh, GDQX is happening. We're going to be there. Stuff's going to be happening. So you can always catch me there or just submit your runs and say hi to the GDQ team. They're always working super hard. And yeah, you can see cool people running games if you're just attending, etc. But yeah, go follow Myth. I'll see you at GDQX, and otherwise we'll see you for the next episode. And hopefully we'll have Myth back on ASAP to wrap this up. But yeah, thank you so much, Myth, again. And thank you all for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye.